The banner is true. Oh my gosh. This is great. Noah can't control the StreamYard, so I'm just.
Bro. Well, yeah, someone has to attach only their email to the stream account, so I can't. Well, the Google account. So
It's not me that. All right.
I had to go a whole damn verification.
This one,
Evan Bologna.
We're talking about the NBA playoffs,
right?
Maybe the NHL playoffs and the NFL draft.
A lot to talk about, and this is Saturday because Friday night we had what again? Oh wow, just the playoffs, and then I was gone, and then the draft. Was it Friday night?
Well, Friday night was the second round.
Yeah, right. But yeah, we had a full draft that completed today. Probably one of the most shocking events in draft history happened. Which maybe wasn't as shocking.
Shedeur Sanders was drafted at 1. It's crazy. I mean, good pick. Good pick.
We're getting into all of it. So let's start the NBA playoffs.
143 picks later. Mother.
I don't think one person on human existence could have predicted that. But
bro, I don't even think the teams that had Shedeur Sanders over or had other quarterbacks over Shedeur Sanders thought he'd fall that far. All right, so wait. There we go. Bro, Noah just glitched out. All right, well, Noah glitched out, and I don't have I'm not on my computer, so I can't share screen. But yeah. So I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about here. Wait, let me add him back. No. Okay. Well, the Warriors game's on right now. That's what I'm watching. So I guess I'll talk about a little bit about the NBA playoffs. Lakers Nuggets are tied 2-2. Two of the closest game series. Warriors Rockets is tied. And Jimmy Butler's out for however long, we don't know yet. But that series is tied 1-1. Lakers Nuggets. Oh wait, Lakers. Excuse me. Lakers Timberwolves are what are they? They're 2-1 Timberwolves, and the Thunder just completed the sweep of the Grizzlies. They blew a 29-point lead. The Grizzlies did in Game 3. Could have picked up an easy win, but had to blow it in the fourth quarter. And my Warriors can't get a damn rebound. It's actually pissing me off. Still waiting for Noah to join though, because literally on my phone, so I can't share my screen right now. But maybe we can listen to some cool LeBron song or something until we wait for Noah to come back, because I don't have my phone on me.
I watch LeBron on my TV. He's just a great.
All right, my bad. Oh, no, it's still not on. Oh, there we go.
Bro, StreamYard, modern day racism. Jeez.
Just kick me out. Day racism?
Yeah, just kick me out for no reason. God. Not even turn my camera
on. What if I kicked you out, though? Oh.
Well,
maybe I'm the racist one.
Would not surprise me, but it's literally not letting me turn my camera on. What is this?
Oh my gosh, I'm gay for Curry. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Let me just show my screen. Hopefully, when I turn my screen, the whole.
Bro, did you sleep again? Oh my gosh. Well, I guess. Bro. What do we talk about? The NBA. I still can't share my screen. The NBA. As I said, the Warriors Rockets are playing right now. That's probably one of the roughest series. Oh, all right, goes back.
Dude, what the frick is wrong with my StreamYard? So you tell me I go to share my screen, it just shuts off my whole entire stuff?
Well, you can't share your screen?
I don't know what's wrong with it. I try to share it and it just shuts off my microphone. Let me try one more time.
Yeah, just try it again.
If not, I'll just read the scores because this is insane. I don't know if you can see it or not.
We can listen to something like LeBron at as well. Like,
it don't matter. Divorce court, child support, Lou Dort. Bigger than 5.
A bear.
We do not care.
I think there's someone hanging right there.
Lakers in 5.
Baby, run. Let me see you do your dance. Let me see you shine. Shoot a 3, buzz a beat, but you're
Excuse me, could you help me find the birthday candles? It's my girlfriend's birthday today. I need a 4 and a 1.
Your girlfriend's turning 41?
Ew, no.
All right. Yeah, that ain't working. Damn, not on my computer either. So, we cooked. I guess we'll listen to some more LeBron edits till we wait.
The plan was to write a total of 25 essays, the work divided evenly among the 3 men. In the end, they wrote 85 essays in the span of 6 months. John Jay got sick after writing 5. James Madison wrote 29. Hamilton wrote the other 51. How do you write like you're running out of time? Write day and night like you're running out of time. Every day you fight like you're running out of time.
Is this live stream? Holy. So we're just gonna read out the scores because Noah's thing doesn't share, and I'm on my damn phone because my computer is broken, so I can't say mine is much better than his. Bro, this game. Let's see what else happened in the NBA. Magic won a game against the Celtics. Celtics are gonna win the series for sure, but nice to see that it's not a sweep. Orlando's putting up a fight each and every game. Respect for Paulo. KCP had a good night. Who else? That Wagner dude. Those guys are like the main kind of stars on the team. What's up, Noah? Kind for you to join us. Gosh, damn.
Well, I'm on my freaking phone now because my laptop literally might be.
Holy shit, dude! No. I'm sorry. This shampoo guy flops every damn play. I'm gonna cry. All right. We can just read out the scores.
Modern day. We're in modern day Sportville. All right. This is how we're gonna share my screen. Oh
my gosh, Buddy Hield is the worst player of all time.
So this is how we're gonna look at the scores from now on, because my damn laptop is being extremely racist. Like, I know I had a tan today, but damn. Anyway, Bucks
flip your phone
Pacers.
at least. Flip your phone at least.
I did.
Like, make it sideways
Hold on a minute.
so then the camera's bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Kobe Bryant just got signed by the Falcons.
The Falcons.
Yeah. Wait, is it not mirrored? Is this right?
It's fine. It's good. It's good. All right.
So that you can see it straight now, right?
Now it's glitching really bad.
What?
Oh my gosh.
You know what? This is good. This is good. All right, ready?
All right.
Bucks. Pacers beats the Bucks. Game 1 by a lot. Clearly, the Pacers have a full roster. The
Dame
Bucks
wasn't
don't.
playing, by the way.
Yeah, Dame was injured. But Giannis, even with Dame, he's been carrying this whole team. Honestly, I think he's going to request a trade, as he should.
I think he should.
Get out of the coaching's awful. It's been awful. And, yeah, we're going to do that. Nuggets, Clippers. Nuggets win in overtime. I think James Harden Kawhi with the Nuggets with Jokic just outplayed him. It was a good, close game. And, yeah, Nuggets got the best one there.
All but one of those Clippers Nuggets
Knicks,
games
Pistons. I thought the Knicks played really good. It was a good – and Pistons were playing really good, but the Knicks going to 21-0 run, which is insane.
Yeah.
But, yeah, overall, I thought Cade Cunningham played phenomenal.
Wait. Did you say 21-0 run?
Time. A 21-0 run, yeah.
Warriors did that in the Celtics finals. Oh, I remember that. Oh, my gosh. Never forget that. Beat their bonus. Sorry. I'm sorry. Keep going.
In game 1, versus the Lakers, Timberwolves at Los Angeles. Love this game. I thought the Timberwolves played a lot more well than the Lakers played bad, even though they did have a whole lot of turnovers. But Timberwolves made about 23s. It was insane. We just did not miss. Jaden McDaniels stepped up. Naz Reid stepped up. Anthony Edwards
did not shoot well, but he played phenomenal. Had a career high playoff, 9 assists. And Luka Doncic was cooking us. Even though he scored a lot, he did not play good defensively. He had like 5, 6 turnovers. One really embarrassing one to Rudy Gobert. And by Rudy Gobert is pissing me off. Like, this guy cannot get one offensive rebound to save his damn life. It's like, dude, you are 7 feet tall and you can't get one offensive rebound when I got to see freaking Anthony Davis get an offensive rebound over you. Like, what the hell am I looking at? Anyway, but this game done very well. LeBron did not play good. I think it was his lowest scoring first half in playoff history in a playoff game for him. And the Lakers are a top 3 record team at home. And we went in there and blew them out by 20. So I love this. It set the stage. It set the energy. And I thought we matched up very well against the Lakers in game 1, which I was pretty nervous going into. But yeah, going on here, oh my gosh. I mean, this is embarrassing. Honestly, I think we all expected that
I'm just gonna make yours a solo layout because I can't
have the best of them, but yeah. But this here is like insane because I don't know how the Grizzlies can even be this bad because they got a decent roster. They got Jared Jackson, they got John Morant, they got Bane, they got
Edie
Pittman Jr., they got what's the other guy? Yeah.
Edie? Yeah.
But man, it's just not working. And the Thunder, say what you want about them, people say, "Oh, they're the most boring super team of all time." I still think they are a great team. I do think they will now win the finals, but I think they're a good team, and they just swept the Grizzlies, which we'll see later on. But game 1 was just pure dominance, where when they went back to the Grizzlies, the tickets were as cheap as $2. It's really embarrassing. But also, as expected, Boston kind of blows out the Magic. I think Paolo played very well. He's been very well this series, but the Celtics are one of the best playoff teams and one of the best home teams and just best teams inside, the league. Cavs beat the Heat in game 1, also pretty much as expected. Although I do think that Tyler Hero played phenomenal.
Hey, Wiggins cooked.
Nate Wiggins, yeah, he did really good. The Cavs
Not
just
Nate Wiggins.
Wiggins.
You said Nate
good.
Wiggins, dumbass. Andrew Wiggins.
Hey, same thing. They're both. Never mind. Cavs.
No, they both don't get cooked by Jamar Chase. Only one of them does.
Okay. Warriors beat the Rockets in game 1. I've been waiting.
Bro, this is exactly how the Warriors needed to play it. They needed to slow down the game, and that's exactly what they did in game 1. Game 2, they did not do that. We'll talk about that later. But.
I mean, I was a lot more impressed by the defense this game and how you were able to physically handle the Rockets and how you were able to just
all right, but I don't know what you're watching there, but
what?
No,
I was saying Curry played well. Not John Morant. Jimmy Butler played really well. I think they just instantly had great chemistry from the regular season, and it's going into the postseason. Game 2, this is absolutely embarrassing. That this happens inside Knicks' home at the Garden. It's actually embarrassing that we get to see Bridges. Honestly, if I had to assassinate an NBA player at that moment, he would have been the one to assassinate. What the hell? Like, he misses. First off, he's awful defensively. Then he just misses a wide open 3 that would have won the game. Jalen Brunson is playing phenomenal, but he can't close out the series. And Cade Cunningham is just destroying you all game. And Karl Towns didn't do absolutely anything this game. And there's no circumstances you're losing to the Pistons at home in the playoffs. Like, I think the Pistons are a solid, good team. There's just no damn way in hell the Pistons should beat the Knicks at their home. It's just this team is just mentally weak. They have not a lot of firepower, and I don't know. They were 121-0 run for being 0-2 at home against the Pistons.
Was this the game where Cat had 0 points in the second half, or is that game?
Yeah. This is the game.
Brutal.
Anyway, come to game 2, another close, good game. I think the Clippers and Nuggets are the best series so far. All close, good games.
All but one of them was close, but
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Game 3. But this one is, I think this is the one where Kawhi Leonard had like 39 points.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard. This
Phenomenal
was
game.
the overtime.
Kawhi was just insane. And I think Denver, I think they've been matched up with what they're doing with a brand new coach. It's very surprising. It just shows the talent on the team. But obviously, they're going to get shaken up again without a coach, or a coach that's not a real coach. Once again, the Pacers dominate the Bucks, where he's played really good, and the Bucks defense was really good. But everything outside of Giannis and the Bucks was just not great. But Giannis had a legacy game. Honestly, insane. Honestly, I was looking at Giannis' stats regular season. I would generally take him over as an MVP than Shai. I'm just saying that.
I mean,
And even if you want to say that, Giannis is a whole lot closer to Shai than Shai is to Jokic to MVP.
I agree with that.
By the way, game 2, I mean, I don't really need to talk too much about the series. I mean, the first one, Shai didn't play too well, which I think proved why he's not MVP, that they won by 50 and did not play good. So much for he has 60 wins. But, yeah, he played great this game, and he's a great player. Game 2 with the Timberwolves was one of our worst offensive performances I've ever seen. I don't even know where to begin. Our first game we shoot from the free very, very well, and then this one we go like 5 for 23. It was like, what the hell? Luka Doncic also absolutely murdered us this game again. They were just really good defensively. They stepped up the pace, did everything they could well. They're dominating us. I mean, the first quarter, I think it's like 34-17. So we scored like 17 points in the first quarter. They scored 44. And outside of that, every single quarter was a 1-point difference where we outscored them by, I think, 10 and 2, 3, and 4. So I think we started to come back. And in the fourth quarter, we really started to come back. But it really didn't matter. Either way, I was still happy with how we played in Los Angeles. And, us stealing a home win, I think we can take this loss. But I'm just happy we showed fight at the end because it was just pathetic how we're playing. But, yeah, Luka and Don, LeBron, all of them, they're going to get a win. Celtics beat the Magic in a close game. I know Tatum, I don't know if he played this game, and I think Brunson had a hurt leg or a hurt knee or something. Not Brunson, Brown, but yeah. Game 2, Cavs beat the Heat again. More competitive game, but, Cavs just are a better team. Game 2 for the Warriors, obviously it's a pretty close game, but then Jimmy Butler gets injured because the Rockets are a dirty-ass team. Overall, Curry played really well. And
The Butler injury made me so sad. Oh.
Yeah, he hit the ground really hard, and now I don't expect him to play for the next 2 games because they're saying like he can not move at a physical level to play a basketball, let alone actively compete well against it in the playoffs. So it's not good because clearly you see how much he affects team. I mean, just look at the team before and after he joined, and especially with his playoff ability and the inbuilt chemistry he's already grown with the team and Curry. It's not good, but that's just what happens in the NBA. You get injuries, and hopefully Curry can just win this series and put the team on his back like he has before. Because if he does, and you get a healthy him in a game in series 2 versus the Timberwolves, then that'll be fun. But yeah, Rockets, they're get a win. Knicks beat the Pistons here. Cap played really well. This was a really good game. Getting onto the wire. Cade Cunningham was also phenomenal. He was phenomenal this year. He had like 26, and then he's just been phenomenal.
This was the game the Grizzlies had the chance to win it. They had a 29-point lead, and they blew the lead in the second half.
Grizzlies are, honestly, at that point, like, just keep getting blown out because now it's just getting more embarrassing by the second. And I knew with the second the Grizzlies were entering against the Thunder, I knew I'm going to get to watch them get swept. And I did. I enjoyed every minute of it. So that's good. But they're okay in the West, so it doesn't matter. Clippers destroy the Nuggets here. James Harden had a legacy game. Jokic also phenomenal. But yeah, Clippers, they got the best of them here. They were just slowing down. I'm talking my ass. I did not watch this game, but yeah, good game by the Clippers. Magic get a win. This was a great game.
This was
I don't know
so
who that
good.
one white guy is on the Magic. But holy frick!
Oh, Wagner.
The game-winning shot.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. Yes, Magic. I did think
Bro,
they get one
so
win,
delayed.
but I still think Celtics will win out unless I'm a stupid and they won again. Wait. Yeah, they played.
No. All
right.
No.
Um,
Say now when you can hear me.
Now.
Oh my gosh. That's literally a whole 6
no.
seconds. Oh my gosh. All right.
Seconds.
Keep going. You can keep going.
Okay. Well, you're probably hearing this one. I'm just gonna keep talking, but okay. Okay. All right. Bucks beat the Pacers. Finally get a win here. Big dominant win. I still think Pacers will win the series. I had faith for the Bucks, but I just do not see it anymore. And then we had the game last night. Wolves versus Lakers. Now our first game at home. It was very electric, and for the most part, it was a really even game. The last 2-3 minutes, it was really even. LeBron had a legacy game, and it was generally insane how he's playing. He was shooting free after free after free. He had about 38 points, but of course,
he had 3 threes in a row. It was crazy.
Yeah, the moment LeBron starts playing good, Luka Doncic starts playing bad. Now, granted, he did start having some sickness in the beginning, but even before then, he shot 1 for 7, and then even after, where you could say he had a little bug, but he came back in the game. He was smiling, talking to people. Everything seemed to be fine. He just did not step up. And hey, if Walter Payton can do it, Michael Jordan can do it in the finals. I don't know why the Luka Don can't do it. So I don't really want to buy into excuses. I know people are freaking out about one Timberwolf fan who blew a whistle at one play and it made Luka stop. That was one play. It was, but the Lakers are like, oh, we got rigged. Like, bro, we still would have won by 15 points. Wow, one whistle. relax. But anyway.
Yeah, still would have won. It's just that was garbage.
Anthony Edwards finally has an insane game. He's been the first 2 games he's been solid, but this is the one where he really stepped up, especially that last dagger he shot where you could have just ran out the clock or ran it down lower, but then he just shoots a free, which kind of does a dagger. And yeah, once again, Jaden McDaniels is averaging 26 points per game in our 2 wins against the Lakers. So he is a huge player. He stepped up in the playoffs last year. He's stepping up again. Naz Reid played phenomenal this game. I thought Deontay shot some really good hard threes like he always does. Rudy Gobert still manages to piss me off in every way. Then what else happened? I don't know why Rui's a starting player. I don't know why Rui is a starting player in the National Basketball League. It's one of the worst players I've ever seen in my life. But onto that, Austin Reeves stepped up. Finally, we're waiting for that. He stepped up very, very well, and yeah, it came really down. It came really good to the last 2 minutes where the Timberwolves were just they were just making their shots. They were running on the clock. They were getting stopped, and they just got a dominant win, another blowout win. And yeah, in our 3 games, we've outscored them in total by 37, and we're up 2-1 at another home game where we can win this game. We're up 3-1. We have to win 1 before 3. Usually, I'll not be worried about being up 3-1, but someone managed to break my faith in that in 2016. But either way, next game's be big. I do think the Lakers will probably win that, just because whenever their backs are pushed to the wall and they need a win, I feel like JJ Redick gets that team ready.
They need a win.
But if we do win that game, I do think Lakers will win at home and win in Game 6. If they lose that game, I think our team will be ready and we'll win the next game, and then we will win at 6. So I think either way, I'm still going Wolves in 6. It really depends how we get there.
You know what I'm gonna go with?
It don't matter.
No.
Divorce court, child support, Lou Dort. Lakers in 5. The Thunder, a Boost Mobile bundle, WWE Royal Rumble.
A bear!
We do not care.
I think there's someone hanging right there.
Lakers in 5.
Baby boy.
I'm sorry.
Bro. Anyway,
Bro.
Yeah, I just think we've been the more consistent team, and honestly, just like last year, we've just been everyone wanted the Lakers to win, everyone thought the Lakers would win. I think we just stood out there. And one thing about Anthony Edwards is I think he's a player that steps up in the big moments, and when he plays a team that he knows that is supposed to win, and he plays a player that beat him in the past or has his number, he plays at a different intensity. That's what he did to Kevin Durant, the Suns. That's what he did to Jokic with the last playoff series they were in, and that's what he's doing to Luka with where we got dominated in the Western Conference Finals. So I love seeing that, and it's good to have that superstar on my team. But anyway, back to the Cavs. They dominate the Heat, and now they're just losing faith. Not good. I don't think the Cavs will sweep them. I think Heat should win at least one, but if they do sweep them, I would not be surprised. I think the sweep came in today in a close one. Jared Jackson was doing everything he could, but, Thunder.
Yeah, he tried.
Yeah. And then we had this game where Jokic had 30 points, 20 rebounds, and from what I hear, Gordon hit a game-winning three or a game-winning shot. So that's really, really cool for them. I remember that one game where Gordon literally against the Wolves where he did not miss one damn shot. Like, it was insane. I was so pissed off. But, yeah, this series has been really fun. I haven't watched highlights for this yet, but, yeah. And then game 3 for the Warriors and Rockets on right now. Warriors are up about 9. So,
bro, Shampoo just punched Podziemski in the face, bro. That right where he broke his damn nose. Are you
okay? Well, Warriors should win this. And then tomorrow we got the Knicks, Pistons, Lakers, Wolves, Magic, Celtics, Pacers, Bucks. So far, this playoffs haven't been too shocking, I think, for the most part. Besides maybe the Lakers, that's really about it. And I'd also say the Nuggets and Clippers. I think a lot of people expected the Clippers to kind of be a lot better than them because they didn't have a coach, including me. But yeah, I think for the most part, the teams have been matching up pretty well against each other, and then the teams that we thought were going to get dominated got dominated. I think the next series or the next round will be a whole lot more exciting. Although I do think the playoffs have not been bad at all. They've been fun. But yeah, I'm gonna try to join my laptop one more time. If it does not work, I'll just stay on here, I guess. Let me just see if it works.
Bro, the one time Matthew doesn't come on, bro. Are we serious?
For real, dude. The one damn time. This dude joins everything.
He's on everything, and the only time we need him, he's not here, bro. Are you serious?
Oh, by the way, for the awards, for the NBA,
Draymond absolutely snubbed of defensive player.
MVP didn't get announced yet? They're waiting for that?
It has not. So
anyway, let's see here. Defense player of the year went to Evan Mobley with the Cavs. And don't give me that. He should not even. Let's just stop that right there.
If anyone, it should have been Dyson Daniels.
No, bro. Evan Mobley averaged 9 rebounds a game. He was number 1 defensive graded player. I looked at the stats. Trust me, he was
number 1 by 0.2%. By 0.2%. Draymond
but did he have 9 rebounds?
And also that team is filled with 2 other first team defensive players. By the way, who do the Warriors have? Not a single other defensive first team.
It don't matter. He is the number 1. He's the number 1. He's the number 1 defensive player on the number 1 defensive team, and he averaged 9 rebounds per game and the highest defensive grade. So I just don't know why he wouldn't be there in the winner. But, is what it is. Rudy Gobert snubbed again. What else? Clutch player of the year went to Johnson. Makes sense. I don't know why Trae Young didn't get it, but I guess that is what it is. He should have at least been nominated. But then what else we had? We had a coach of the year. I think I agree to pretty much every single award that's gone out. The 6th man of the year goes to Payne by easily, which makes sense. He's by far the best.
Clutch player of the year was obviously Jalen Brunson. We all knew that too. That was an obvious one.
Yeah, for sure. And then what else we had? The coach here to the Rockets coach, I believe, right?
Has coach of the year been announced? I mean, it should either way go to the Rockets or Cavaliers coach. They both are well deserving of it.
Yeah, I think Rockets, they were like in the stump not too long ago. And then what else we got? There was most improved player of the year.
Most improved player of the year.
whatever.
That hasn't been announced yet. Okay, it has not been announced this year.
Yeah, there was one guy who easily deserves it. I was looking at the stats. One guy easily deserved it. I forgot who he is, but I couldn't tell you the name or the team. I completely forgot. But anyway, let's go. I think it's on the Hawks.
Oh, Dyson Daniels.
I was looking at stats from the year before. Yeah, Dyson Daniels, him. Yeah, he deserves that for sure.
Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, my NBA Finals prediction still stands, guys. Celtics, Wolves. That's still my playoff. That's still my final prediction.
Hell no.
Hell yeah. Wolves take the Celtics in 6.
Holy frick, dude. Draymond just got elbowed in the back of the damn head, dude. I fucking hate this bum-ass Rockets team. Holy shit. All right. Who just joined? You joined on your laptop. Doesn't even work, dumbass.
We'll try it, goof gunk.
Oh, hell no. Mute one of them.
Okay. This is confusing me. Let me turn off my camera.
But you got confused having 2 cameras. All right.
Yo, no freaking way, bro. Oh, shoot.
What the hell is going on?
Dude, this is starting to piss me off.
Why'd you just scream? Bro, it's echoing
Okay,
so
let me mute my
bad.
laptop mic. Hold on. Whoops. Dude, so I don't know what the deal is. It just says you can't turn your camera on because it's connected to something else. It's not going to tell anything, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Did your computer break? Is this like a different one? Is that what you said?
I did. No, it didn't break. It's just Apocod. Just say it's Apocod. Someone's using that.
It's what?
You know what? Frick this. I'm going downstairs and stealing that laptop. I don't care. Someone said they need to use my laptop because they have stuff on there. I don't know what the hell. Maybe it's the FBI trying to raid me. Maybe they're trying to sell me. I don't know. But I'm going downstairs getting that laptop. This is insane.
All right. Don't let them view your Twitter history. Yikes. All right. You can go do that.
Oh, frick. Hold on. I'll be right back.
So, I guess I could talk more about the NBA awards. Who got nominated for most improved player? Let's see. Tyrese Maxey won it last year. My vote's Dyson Daniels, honestly. Draymond won Hustle Player of the Year. That's fair, bro. He's 32 and hustling more than any young player in the league. So I think he deserved that. So my chair's so damn loud. So I'm watching the Warriors Rockets right now. Bro, how looking like Warriors are gonna run away with this series. Or not this series, this game, I mean. They're up by I think 8 with a minute and a half left. It's been a good game. I'm surprised they won it without Jimmy Butler. I thought we'd fall apart without Jimmy Butler. We're actually doing pretty solid without him. With how that stands on his injury, he's apparently really not good. Hopefully he'll be back next game. That's the hope. But it's looking like he's expected to not be playing next game as well as the game after that. So hopefully he returns in the series. Hopefully he honestly returns in the playoffs at all. So, I mean, that's, I guess, the only hope that I have him there. So I'm watching the game. Bro, Şengün is so dirty, bro. I hate that guy. Big defensive stop by the Warriors right there. Sorry. Let me think. Obviously we're gonna talk about the NFL draft next. Only talk about the playoffs, and we got a hell of a lot to talk about with the draft. So I won't talk about that quite yet. But oh my gosh, I just watched Podziemski airball layup. One of the Rockets players is hurt. Is that Jalen Green? He's good. He's good. Let's see. The Timberwolves Lakers game is tomorrow. As we were talking earlier, that's a huge game for the series because if Lakers were to win it, then the series is tied. But if they lose it, they're down 3-1 in a 3-1 lead. As a Warriors fan, I know it's possible to come back from, but it's very not likely. Wow, are Warriors really about to blow this lead? What do we? Okay, there we go. They turned it over. Nice. Oh my gosh, Sealer. Sorry. Anyways, let's see. What's the other series? The Grizzlies Rock. The Grizzlies Thunder series was a huge series. Obviously got swept. That series. Jaren Jackson was just dominating that whole. Jaren Jackson was the only positive part of the Grizzlies in that last game. John Morant played decent. Oh, look who's back.
They looked at my Twitter history.
No, they did not, bro.
Trust me, if they looked at my real Twitter history, it would be a lot worse than what you're thinking. Anyway, let's go to the NFL draft. Wait, hold on, real quick. There's an actual question. Do people still see like the tweets you like on Twitter?
I don't know. I remember when you told me that was a thing, dude. I started unliking so many tweets that I liked after you told me that was a thing. I don't know if you can still see it.
Oh God. Let's just hope not. Let's go to the NFL draft. Okay, so we're just gonna look at the first round, and then we'll just look at every team's full draft. We'll just say, A plus, a B plus, an F plus, Bengals. We're gonna look at the whole draft.
F plus is not a thing, by the way.
Not each pick. Huh?
An F plus is not an actual grade.
Yeah, you can give it an F plus.
You cannot get an F plus.
You could give it an F plus. What are you talking about?
All right, sure, we can give it.
Okay.
No, I'm not giving the Bengals an F. Fuck off.
Let's say. Let's just think about it. C minus. It's not exactly as good as a C minus, but it's not as bad as an F. It's an F plus.
Hey, dumbass. There's a D between those two letters. You dumb fuck. Holy shit! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh.
Okay, well then where's the E? Where's the E then, huh?
Well, they don't do the E. No one does the E. A, B, C, D, E. No one does that. You skip to F because F is his favorite.
No, bro. I don't need to hear this. I don't need to hear this. Anyway, with the first pick, Titans get Cam Ward. Now, the Giants were looking to trade up. Thank God they didn't accept that. Way too much we offered. Honestly, if I'm Tennessee, I probably would have accepted that. But clearly, they're set in on this guy. They believe in him. And I do think he'll be great in Tennessee. I don't know about this year just because the team is a bit iffy. Defense, I do think they added some good pieces.
I'll tell you this much. He cannot do what he did in college with that offensive line. Because what he was doing in college with that amazing team, can't do that in college. Can't do that in the pros. Terrible offensive line.
You mean like the way he was standing, like his footwork?
No, I mean how long he sat in the pocket. His footwork also needs to be worked on, but how long he sat in the pocket needs to be discussed heavily. That's just what I mean.
Yeah, but I think Cam Ward will be great. I think he is by far the best quarterback in this draft. I did really want him, but yeah, go for Tennessee. I think this, and also Warren Moon did not retire the number for him, so clearly a lot of people have confidence in him. I think it'll be great for Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee will be nice. I don't think Tennessee will be great this year, but I do think he'll have a good year. So it's an obvious pick. Yeah. But then the draft gets really shocking. There's rumors about it, and it happened. the Cleveland Browns pass on
Oh.
Travis Hunter. They trade back with the Jacksonville Jaguars for a second-round pick, their first fifth-round pick, and a first-round next year, and I believe like a third or fourth. Now,
Gave up way too much.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I know
Also,
Jacksonville's
no
got a
new screen sprays,
generational.
by the way. Oh, there we go.
No, I didn't move it yet. But yeah, Jacksonville did get a generational player. I admit that. I think he's going to be phenomenal. I did hear. I think they're going to start him as a corner first or receiver first. I forgot what
No,
they said.
they're prioritizing him at receiver is what they said, but he will play corner.
Yeah, him and Brian Thomas will be really good, and you put him in the secondary, where I think he'll slowly work into it. I think he has a lot of potential to grow at both positions, and I think he could play both positions very, very well for a team. And I think he will be a generational player for Jacksonville. And I think Jacksonville's a good fit for him, a lot better than Cleveland would have been.
I'm just happy he's not on a Brown, and I'm happy that he goes where
Well,
he
he
honestly
kind of
wanted to.
is. And
Okay,
I also think
oh my gosh.
what I meant to say, he kind of is because even if the Browns trade down, his value got because of the Browns trade to the Jags. So he kind of is. All right. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, Jags, the value lost in the player you got. I honestly think you lost more than what you got, because let's think about this here. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence as much. Let's say he's bad, and you're bad, because you clearly do not have a good defense. You did not get no good defense in the later draft. Like, really, you didn't add to it at all, and you have a terrible offensive line. And now you have no first round pick.
I don't know why they're not
Okay.
re-signing Brandon Sheriff. I don't know why he's still a free agent. He's a great guy.
So I just think they got way too. I mean, I know their GM's like 20 years old, but they just got
he's
way
34.
too. He
People
looks like
need
he's
to leave him
19,
alone.
but I'm just saying it's crazy that what they gave up to get him, and Cleveland potentially won the entire draft, which we'll talk about in a bit, because of this. Even though they did not draft that well in the second round, they still almost won this draft, especially with what they got in the first round. So I think he'll be great in Jacksonville. I just think it was not a good trade. But anyway, on to the third pick. New York Giants do get Abdul Carter. This was pretty much well known it was going to happen. And I do love the pick. I think he's a great fit for New York. I think he has everything we want in what we've been trying to do, is trying to get back to that dominance defensive line. We got Brian Burns last year, and it worked out really well when they were healthy. I mean, you remember when Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon and Brian Burns were healthy, we led the league in sacks for a long time. But we couldn't stop the run. And then there was injuries, and then there was fatigue issues, and then Kayvon Thibodeau would not play good. Brian Burns would not play good for a while, and it just seemed to fall apart. And then people just abuse our secondary because they knew they could do that. But then you fix your secondary, and you go ahead and draft Abdul Carter, who had about like 20 sacks. And he actually used to play more like an inside linebacker. But when he moved to a primary edge rusher, he just was dominant. So he still has more to learn, more to grow. He hasn't even reached his full potential yet. And I think he's going to be insanely good. I think he's going to add to the best defense line in the NFL later off of what we did. And I just think it's phenomenal what we're doing here. So I love this pick. I love Abdul Carter as a prospect. Obviously, he wanted Lawrence Taylor's number, which I thought was genuinely disrespectful to even ask and even put him in that situation. But,
Bro, I thought he was kidding.
I love
56 sounds pretty good.
Like, you understand this potentially the greatest player of all time. Like, go like that doesn't mean joining the Bulls. Like, hey, can I have 23, Jordan?
Well,
like
that is not the same. But 23 is the most iconic number of all time.
Okay, fine. Someone's saying Larry Bird 33. Like, why would they even ask that? Whatever. But great pick. It's an obvious pick. You get potentially the best player in the draft. And that's what we need. We need more superstars. Keep growing superstars, get young superstars. Eventually, you'll get good. And then we get the Patriots getting Will Campbell. I love this pick for them. Will Campbell, great offensive lineman. He's just a dominant offensive lineman. The way he can get
He's dead to
and
me
block
after
from the
he didn't-
inside,
after he
the
didn't pick
outside.
Roger Goodell. This boy.
Yeah. And even if you look, I was looking back in the Alabama game, he absolutely owned Jahan Campbell, which is a star middle linebacker who's now plays for the Eagles. Like, he would shove him on the ground. This guy is phenomenal, and he can work from the inside to the outside, and he's even a greater person with what he does to his team. He even brought out, he had a Kyron Lacey thing on him, which actually had his funeral today. I thought it was really emotional. He said that it was almost like him walking out with him. So this was supposed to be the day he would have been drafted. I think he would have been a great player. So, yeah, I just think he's a great fit for New England. I think he's exactly what they need. They need someone to help Drake May, someone that's a lineman that actually is willing to give 101% of themselves for their quarterback. That's who Will Campbell is. Will Campbell's been mocked to the Patriots for the last year. Also, like, he's been a guy that people have been predicting for a long time. I just think it's a perfect fit for New England, and love to see him go there. It sucks for LSU, though, because I don't know, dude, if Nussmeier would have just locked in that season, God. But anyway, because we had such good players. But anyway, Cleveland, go ahead and get Mason Graham. Now, I do like this pick. They need more help defensive tackles. They lost one of their defensive tackles. Mason Graham is a phenomenal player, big physical player. He is from Michigan, which is a bit concerning with going to Cleveland. But outside of that, he is a great player. I think he's a good fit for Cleveland to keep working on the defensive line. And then you got Mason Graham from the inside. And then you also got Myles Garrett on the edge. So I think you're just working on that defensive line. And, yeah, I think it's a great pick. To get Mason Graham and a first-round pick and a second-round pick for Travis Hunter, absolutely. I think that's a good deal value. And Travis Hunter, I just do not think he would have been a perfect fit in there either. I think he's a lot better in Jacksonville. So, but on to the Raiders. They do go with the fan favorite, Ashton Jeanty. I don't know why. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, why
Ashton
did you
Jeanty.
say it like that?
I don't know. Just the Raiders, man. They just wound me up. But anyway,
Whoa.
back-to-back years, the Raiders just go ahead and get one of the best skill position players. Obviously, I do think they need to more. I think they need to start drafting more depth peaches like corner and offensive tackle, and guard just have not done that. That's hurted them because you get Brock Bowers, who was phenomenal, but that didn't move you as a team that much because you just can't keep going skill player. But when you have a guy like this that you know is going to be phenomenal, and you need a run game that can take pressure off your quarterback by having middle linebackers, we're always worried about this guy. It's going to be – I think he's going to be phenomenal with Las Vegas. He's one of the players you look at and you just think it's impossible to be a bust. That's how good he is. So I think it's going to be phenomenal with Las Vegas. I do like the pick. I think it's the right pick. But like I said, I think they do need to start working on the trenches a bit more because you keep drafting skill players, and it can all be great, but you really got to start worrying about that stuff eventually, especially when you don't really do a lot of stuff with free agency. But 7th round, the Jets do go Amar Membu over Tyler Warren. I do think this is the right pick. I did think with the Jets trying to get more flashy, they would go ahead and get Tyler Warren, but Membu I think is the right pick.
I don't know. You go offensive tackle, pass on tight end back-to-back years. I don't know.
Yeah, but this tackle I think is just you look at his combine, he was able to run under a 5-second 40-yard dash.
Oh,
he had one of the best.
Oh, I'm not going to call it bust, but not a good pick so far.
I think it's a great pick. I think Membu is just great. I think you have a quarterback, Justin Fields, where first off, you lost so many tackles. Justin Fields is a mobile quarterback, right? Mobile quarterbacks, yes, they can break away from pressure, but they also are prone to injury if it happens. And Justin Fields, imagine he gets injured. That's going to be even more of a dumpster fire. So I think you could keep working on your offensive line. I like the pick. I know it's a boring pick, but I think it's the right pick. And I know Tyler Warren would have been fun, and I don't think it would have been a bad pick. I just think Amar Membu, with the season he had and even more the combine he had, where you see more of how physical he is and how much more he can grow, and also with them losing a lot of tackles and even with it last year being not good, I just like the pick for the Jets. I think it's a good pick. I think they had a phenomenal draft, and this was a good pick here. 8th pick, the Panthers do go McMillan. Now, I really would have gone Jalen Walker. You need to start with. You had the worst defense in the NFL last year. This guy would have been electrifying for your defense on so much different sides. But I do understand the pick, McMillan, because you desperately need a true young wide receiver one. And this right here is just basically saying we believe in Bryce Young. We're going to give Bryce Young the best chance. Even if our defense is bad, maybe they just want to know, is Bryce Young their guy? We're going to get a receiver who is 6'4", who can run insane vertical routes, insane deep balls, and is great at locating and catching the ball in the end zone in tight spaces. And when you get a Bryce Young, this is your guy. Go out there, make passes. I don't think you even have to worry about winning, losing, or obviously you want to consider that. Obviously you want to win. I'm just saying this season is a lot more about figuring out the future of your team and building on pieces. And I think that's what they're doing. I just think you could have done that in the free agency the second round when you have Jalen Walker there who can change your whole entire defense. I would have done that. But I do like the pick. Bryce Young definitely likes to pick. So, yeah, McMillan to the Panthers.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it's a solid pick. I think you got to give Bryce Young another shot, and the best way to do that is get him the best true receiver in the class.
I really do not like this pick with the Saints. I don't
either.
I just think there's so much positions.
Total respect to Kelvin Banks Jr., by the way. Great.
He's a great tackle, and I think he'll be good there. And you can never go wrong with being an offensive lineman when you're a bad team. Working from the trenches is always a good approach. I just think the Saints have so many holes on their roster and so many contract issues, and with so much young stars that are there that you could have got. Look, for example, their biggest need probably, in my opinion, is edge rusher or defensive tackle. Right then and there, you could have got Jalen Walker. Or you could have got a corner like Will Johnson, which I know he fell the second round, so I'll give him credit for that because the knee injury. But that's bull crap, in my opinion. That's just absolute baloney. And then you look at other stuff they could have done. I mean, really any other edge rusher. I just think it went a lot better. Even a receiver, like at this point, would have been bad. Tyler Warren would have been a phenomenal pick here. I think Kelvin Banks is just not the guy the Saints need right now. Obviously, Shedeur Sanders was a possibility here also, but we all know what happened there. If Shedeur would have got drafted in the late first round or early second round, I would be mentioning him, but clearly the perception of what I thought Shedeur Sanders was as a prospect and a player was just not in reality. It just wasn't. But we'll talk about that later. So this was the first shock. I think we all knew none of the teams were going to take Shedeur. When Saints passed on him, which was where I had him going, that's where it was a bit shocking. And then I thought, okay, this guy's going to fall. This guy's going to fall to the Steelers or someone's going to trade up to get him. God, not even, I don't think anyone knows what the hell happened later on. It just was insane. But then we get another horrendous pick with the Bears taking Colston Loveland. So first off, you get this guy, or there's not one thing this guy does better than Tyler Warren. Not one trait he does. I genuinely do not get this. He can out block better. He can out run better. He's not better in the slides. Not better deep. He doesn't have better hands.
The only thing I can cover is Ben Johnson loves those Michigan guys, and this just looked like that kind of pick.
Go ahead and get Dominic Edwards here if you like Michigan guys so much. Damn. But I'm just saying,
well, even he knows he's a bust dog.
Okay, yeah, even he knows. But the thing is, F that in general, a tight end, I don't get it here.
I have so much other needs. Chargers at pick 22. I did not.
Yeah, exactly. That was the obvious pick. But edge rusher, you need desperately bad. Your defensive line was terrible last year. You have Jalen Walker right there, Walter Nolan right there, Derek Harum. All these players. We're just going to take Colston Loveland. I don't get it. I really. You could even went offensive line if you wanted to, or offensive guard. You can always work on that. My light just turned off for some reason. Hold on a minute. But I just do not like the pick. I think you're picking a position that you do not need as much, and then you only pick the best player. It's just not good. And like I said, people can always be wrong about this stuff, and I certainly And the Colston Loveland's a bad player. I think he'll be really good
Yeah.
in that offense, but he would not have been as good as this to the team. So yeah, it's
and with that, I just don't think tight end was the Bears' biggest need whatsoever. Cole Kmet was one of the bright spots of that offense. I just don't understand the pick.
And then San Francisco 49ers going to get Mikael Williams. I do like the pick. I would have preferred Will Johnson at this point, but obviously teams must know more about his knee injury. That's a lot more significant than us. That makes some more sense to me. But Mikael Williams, I think, is a phenomenal edge rusher. I think you need help on the edge to help with Nick Bosa. Your defense was just terrible last year. It was a shell of its old self. There's a lot of directions they could have gone here. You could have gone receiver. You could have gone offensive line, defensive tackle,
I thought
corner,
they were going to
safety.
go offensive tackle here, but nope.
But yeah, I think it's a good pick here. Mikael Williams is a phenomenal player. So yeah, you get a good pick there. And then the Dallas Cowboys go to get Tyler Booker. Now, I know a lot of people will not like this because it's not a flashy pick like Matthew Golden would have been or somebody else, but I do like the pick. I think Tyler Booker is going to add to their interior offensive line, which was horrendous last year, and it's even worse now that it's that you lost more offensive linemen. There's still a lot more stuff they could have done. Obviously, you pass on Jalen Walker, which is going to be a generational mistake because what he would have done for your defense would have been crazy. Because you lost Colston to the Giants or Golston. You lost DeMarcus Lawrence. You lost another defensive tackle. You lost your middle linebacker last year, and you're replacing with 30-year-old Kendricks. And Micah Parsons was literally out there all alone all last year, besides a couple players. Now they're all gone. Then you have Jalen Walker, who was a generational edge rusher, and you pass on him. What the hell?
With this pick, I like the player, not the pick. I think you could have traded down, and gotten Tyler Booker later. I love Tyler. I think Booker's going to be a great guard, but I would have just traded down, to be honest. But I mean that offensive line is not.
I love that the Cowboys are not taking the flashy pick and actually working from the trenches.
Yeah, I respect that.
But you're just not doing it the right way. Like you could have traded down, like you said, if this is your guy and you believe in him. Or you always could have just gotten the player that would have jumpstart your defense to back what it was in 2022 or 2021, which has not been that. And I know you want to work with offense because of Dak Prescott and how tragic that whole catastrophe was last year. But I just think you just can't pass on Jalen Walker there. But it is what it is. Not a bad pick. I mean, he's not gonna be bad in the Cowboys. He only allowed, I think, 2 sacks in his whole entire playing time in Georgia. Or Alabama. So, pretty good. Dolphins going to get Kenneth Grant. I like that they get a defense tackle. I would not have took him over Walter Nolan or Derek Harum. But, I think it is a position need. You need to start working from the depth and the defense and that side. Also, once again, passing Jalen Walker, I do not like. Just do not like that. But Kenneth Grant, I think, will be good there. I think it's a good pick for the Miami. Yeah.
I like Kenneth Grant. I just think Walter Nolan's the best defensive tackle in this class. And at 13, I think is a bit ridiculous, especially Jalen Walker's on the board. But I understand.
Yeah.
A plus pick by the Colts here. Oh my gosh!
So let me say about the Colts. The Colts, they desperately do need an offensive line. You still got phenomenal offensive line. Like Gray Zabel still there, Josh Simmons. But when you have a generational tight end like Tyler Warren, you step in on your team and be, a chip tight end that can block, and just a physical tight end that can come in there and change the whole entire game. And obviously you need that for whether you're trying to hold on to whatever you have, Anthony Richardson, whether you're trying to revive Daniel Jones' career, or whether you're just trying to build pieces for the future, which I don't think they are because they did not draft Shedeur at all, or really any quarterback or attempt to try to get any quarterback besides. Who was it again? Who did they get? Like in the 6th round?
Did they go Kyle McCord? Was that right?
They went Riley Leonard out of Notre Dame, so I don't mind that pick. But Danny Dimes still QB1. But Tyler Warren, I love it there. If this guy falls there, I think you gotta take him. You gotta worry about the other stuff later. You cannot pass on Tyler Warren.
And
So
like,
he's a
it's
perfect.
just,
he's
it's sad
a
the fact
perfect
that it
fit.
took him this long to get a good tight end, because Mo Alley Cox was their tight end one for about 3 years, I think, and that is sad.
Yeah.
Great to
And
see.
then the Falcons get an absolute steal here in
Perfect.
Jalen Walker.
Perfect.
It's a perfect fit. They need an edge rusher. He's from Georgia. It's just a perfect pick here. This is like a match made in heaven. I think he'll be phenomenal with the Falcons. Yeah, he's
that
gonna
defensive
be
line
a
needed
true stud there.
exponential help, and
They dramatically improved
yeah,
it.
and then they
which
do
we'll look at
something else
later.
later that I love as well. But
All right, then the Cardinals, they make a phenomenal pick here in getting. I still would have took Will Johnson here. I don't care about the injury, but you go ahead with the best
freaking they
defensive
got
tackle
Will
in the
Johnson
draft,
31 picks later.
and Walter Nolan. That's right. But Walter Nolan, and you desperately need defensive tackle. You need to start working on your defense.
Yeah.
You already got an edge rusher in Josh Sweat. Now you go to get Walter Nolan, and then your pick in the round 2 we'll talk about. I think this is a phenomenal pick for the Cardinals.
Good offseason.
Cincinnati Bengals. You can talk about this one first here.
All right, I'm hella embarrassed. I thought he was already drafted. Like, I don't know where the hell
I know,
my
me
mind,
too.
my mind was at. I thought he was already picked, so I forgot about him. I was going with Mike Green and Will Johnson as my two. I would have thrown Shamar Stewart in that conversation. I had him getting picked to the Bears in my mock draft, I believe. I don't know. I already thought he was gone. I like the pick. I didn't know much about him. I learned a lot about him the last few days. And what I've seen is he's a violent player. He only got a sack and a half last year, but that's because his change to the game isn't only just on the stat boards. He wrecks the entire game. He causes havoc, and at the end of the day, I don't care who gets the sacks at the end of the day, as long as the sacks are happening. But obviously, people were hating on this pick, or Bengals fans were hating on this pick because he only had a sack and a half last year. But college stats are so deceiving, and he had an amazing combine. So I like the pick. We need an edge rusher as long as there's defense. I swear to God, if we went Gray Zabel, I would have killed myself. Great guard, but we just needed defense.
Okay, Gray Zabel would have been amazing there.
No, he would have been.
Yeah,
I just can't with this defense.
Right. But yeah, I love this pick here. Shamar Stewart, like you said, he is a dominant player when it comes to getting done what needs to be done, like going after tackles, going after guards, tackles for loss, getting to a running back. And the best thing about him is his physical trait and his ability to grow and learn. Each snap, he's a better football player, and we saw in the combine how physical he is and how he dramatically went up the board of where he could be, because he is just so physical. And if he enters Cincinnati and they train him and they do him well, he'll be a great addition to the Bengals. And if obviously I do think this will happen in the near future, I think it's inevitable with the Bengals with what they've done. Trey Henderson leaves, he can refill that spot. Obviously, it probably won't be as dominant there, but I think you had to take this pick here. I think it's the best available. I think it's the best position need, and I think it's just a good pick all around for the Bengals. Just like Evan, I totally forgot this guy even existed on the earth at the time. But yeah.
If we
all right,
Seattle
Seahawks got to get Gray.
Sorry, bro, it's so behind. If we still had our same defensive coordinator, Louis Anarumo, he has a terrible player progression. He is just terrible at producing players. So I would have hated this pick if we still had him. Now that we have a new defensive coordinator, I like the pick. So that's the last thing I got to say.
All right, then the Seattle Seahawks go out and get Gray Zabel. I love this pick. They desperately need a guard and tackle, especially with Sam Darnold as their quarterback, who was not good when he got pressured. And Gray Zabel, I think he is a phenomenal guard, showed a lot of potential. And like I said, this guy is from North Dakota State. He's white, he's fat, he has a mustache. And I also heard that right after he started drinking multiple beers. So that makes me think this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer right at the bat.
Oh,
every guard
decided to show up right when Noah got his computer. Sorry, Matthew. I'm kidding. What's up, Matthew?
Well. What do we have here?
I had no idea we're doing Sportsville.
But back to what I was saying. When you have a guard who is from a college you don't know, he's white and has a mustache and drinks beers right after he got drafted, he's going to be a good guard. That's all I'm saying. So, Seahawks, great pick for them. Buccaneers. Emeka Egbuka. I like the player. I think he'll be a good development piece in Tampa with two old receivers, not a solid receiver free. I just think there's better players on the board. I think you should have gone corner, but I'll let it slide with what they did in the second round. So I like the pick here. I think he's a perfect fit for them. I think Emeka Egbuka is a great receiver. Obviously, you could say, over Matthew Golden. I do think Matthew Golden is better than Emeka Egbuka. I think Emeka Egbuka works better in the slant, and I think he'll be better for Baker Mayfield and better for that roster where it is with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, because he's going to be learning as a wide receiver free. Matthew Golden, if you watch him, every single snap, he's running vertical, deep routes, mid routes. Emeka Egbuka, he is a slot receiver, gets the slot, gets the first down, gets a touchdown. That's what he does. And as he develops, I'm sure he'll be the future wide receiver one for that team. Obviously, if he is the prospect you think he is. So I like the pick to a degree. I just think there's a couple other things I would have done differently, but I think for the most part, they got a good player. And I think for what they did in the second round, it definitely was going to pay off. The other thing about it, I don't know if Matthew's here now. So, Matthew, you got something to say about this pick? Also, can Jamie Foxx stop glazing Shedeur Sanders? Holy frick.
This pick surprised me. This pick surprised me a lot because I was confident that they were going to go Jahad Campbell here because it made too much sense. Perfect fit, be a nice replacement for Levante David down the line. But they take Egbuka instead, which I think he'll be a fine player. I think he'll be a good player. I think he'll develop nicely under Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and this is like a thinking ahead for the future kind of a thing because we all love Mike Evans, but he's not going to be around forever, unfortunately. And Chris Godwin, he got hurt last year, so he's dealt with injuries. So it's always nice to have depth at the wide receiver position. So it's a solid pick.
I like the pick. I wide receiver 3, and I know they're Chris Godwin and Mike Evans on the older side, but I like Jalen McMillan at wide receiver 3. I just would have gone different here, and I would have gone Matthew Golden too if you were to go receiver, but receiver at glance, I just would not have picked as my first round pick for the Buccaneers. But I mean, hey, plan for the future, I guess.
Yeah. All right. The Broncos going to get Jahadi Bauron. I love this player. You guys know I've been gassing up this prospect, but like I said, I think corner was the number one. Obviously, you need a second corner. You got to start working through that secondary. Take a lot of pressure off PS2, even though he doesn't really need a lot of pressure, but still. I just think there's a better players available. You could have gone Amari Hampton, who would have lifted your running back room, and the running back you got was an embarrassment in the later rounds. You could have gone Matthew Golden, who would have electrified Bo Nix's career. You go to get Jahadi Barron and over Will Johnson. I know he has a knee injury, but I do not like that. If you want corner so bad, trade down and then get Will Johnson. I don't give a knee injury. The way the prospects treated him is just.
I understand why I drafted Barron over him. Put him at the nickel.
He's more of a slot corner. I get that, but still, Will Johnson.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Broncos' biggest need was not corner, and that defense is already good, and it absolutely made it better with this pick. Riley Moss is a good corner too, and Jahadi Barron is going to slide right nicely into that slot corner, or not slot. I meant nickel. but I would have gone Amari Hampton. I was very excited about that pick. I thought it would have worked out very well for him. But
And this is where the draft starts to get crazy. The Pittsburgh
I lost
Steelers
my mind.
Hash and Shurtur Sanders or Derek Harm. This is where we start to realize is something's going on. Something's going on. But obviously, Derek Harm is a phenomenal defensive tackle, one of the most physical defensive tackles in this draft. I've been saying a long time, Steelers need a defensive tackle. They lost their defensive tackle. Their defense just did not look good in the later part of the year. They're not stopping the run at all. Just look at the Derrick Henry games. It was freaking insane. All right. So I think it's a great pick. Obviously, if Shurtur was the prospect that we all thought he was, I would have picked him there, but clearly he was not. But Derek Harm, I think he's a great fit for Pittsburgh. I think he fits right into that team. And I think you keep working on that defense because it's getting older, it's getting wore down, and defense always wins championships. It's always the last heartbeat of a game, a defense. So I like the pick. Matthew, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is a great pickup. He's extremely underrated for God knows why, but I like them pairing him with Cam Hayward. He looks a lot like Cam Hayward too. Like he actually looks very similar to him. So I do like that they are drafting him and that he's going to get to learn and develop under Cam Hayward. I think that's a really good move. So yeah, I really like the pick for the Steelers.
All right, then the Chargers go ahead and get Amari Hampton. I do not like this pick. I understand it. Obviously, it's going to highly affect the run game. I think they're going to have a phenomenal run offense. And that's just how Harbaugh looks to run his offense. I understand it. But at the same time, you have Najee Harris, who is very disrespected. Every single season he played, he had over 1,000 rushing yards. He's a dominant running back. He's not the fastest. He's not the flashiest. And Amari Hampton's going to play second side of that very well. But I just think you need a defensive tackle over that. You need a corner over that. You need a receiver over that. You need an edge rusher over that. I just do not tight end over that, even though there wasn't a tight end available. That's just another position. It's not a position need. I don't like the pick. I just do not like when people reach for prospects just because of the prospect. But I will say their run offense will be fun. With Amari Hampton, I think he's a phenomenal running back. I actually do think by the end of the year he will be running back one. As much as I do like Najee Harris, I just think he is a far more flashy running back with far more ability and potential because he's faster and stronger. Well, I mean not stronger, but he's faster and more, I guess you could say flashy. He's a lot more athletic than you could say Najee Harris. Najee Harris is a lot more of a bully ball running back. But yeah, I don't know. I understand. I just don't think it was the right pick, but he'll be good in Los Angeles. Matthew, what do you think?
I think it's kind of a weird pick because, there's obviously you had other prospects available that, you had bigger needs. Like you need an outside receiver. Matthew Golden would have been perfect for that. You have need at corner. You had Will Johnson, a guy that Jim Harbaugh coached himself a year ago. That would have made perfect sense. You know him, you know how he plays, you coached him. Why not grab him there? This just caught me off guard. And I'm like, if you're going to take a running back, then what was the point of signing Najee Harris? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think Hampton will be really good. And I think he'll be RB1 sooner rather than later for them. Because, I just think he's very talented. He's got a lot of potential. And, nothing against Najee Harris. I like Najee Harris. But he's just not the flashiest running back ever. But I still think he's good. But yeah, just a really weird pick in my opinion. I did not expect it at all. But it is what it is. Jim Harbaugh obviously wants to have like the power back duo, I guess.
Yeah. Which I do love that. I do love teams like to have two running backs that come in and out, because running back is one of the highest fatigued positions, because they're the most physical positions. So to have one at more fatigue than the other, and have them have different abilities, like one, like the lightning thunder, where one's more faster and flash, one's more for the depth, the big, getting those rough yards. I think it's a good strategy. I think double running back, double tight end strategy is just missing from offense today. It worked so well back then. People just don't do it as much, and I understand it, because it's a lot more of a business now, and receivers and running backs get paid a lot more than they used to. But still, it's a good strat. The Packers get a receiver in the first round for the first time in over 20 years, in Matthew Golden. I know Aaron Rodgers is pissed off right now. I would be too. I just hate that. They never got him help, and then whatever. They came to their senses this time, although I would have gone Will Johnson. I think it's a phenomenal pick. Matthew Golden fits perfectly into Green Bay. I think he is a Green Bay Packer before the draft even started. I think he's just a perfect fit there for Jordan Love to be a true wide receiver one. I think he'll be phenomenal. I love him as a player, and his playing ability. And yeah, he's a great player. I cannot wait to see him there in Green Bay. So yeah, I think it's a good, hopefully Jordan Love with a star receiver doesn't throw 3 interceptions in a playoff game again. But yeah, I like the pick here. Math.
I've mocked him to the Packers many times, but I was surprised that they actually went through with it, because they usually never take receiver in the first round. And the craziest thing is he's already their highest paid wide receiver on the roster. Like, he's already their highest paid wide receiver. It's insane.
Yeah.
I do like the pick. I do think he has wide receiver one potential, and I think he's going to be really good for them. So I like it a lot. So hopefully this helps out Jordan Love, and he doesn't throw 3 interceptions in a playoff game again, hopefully. But we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to see how it plays out. But they're in a tough division. So
I think every team in the division is going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, like it's going to be interesting to see when the Bears play the Packers. It's going to be interesting to see Golden versus Jalen Johnson one-on-one. That'll be interesting.
All right, then we got a pick that really pissed me off. And the Vikings going to gaming Devon Jackson, guard out of Ohio State. So I understand it, number one. I understand what they're doing. You want to keep working on your offensive line and protect JJ McCarthy. It's first time playing in the NFL. Your offensive line, you work dramatically off in the offseason, but you still – the guard position is still a bit shaky, in my opinion, and always there's injuries and that. I get it. But, bro, not a position need. You have Harrison Smith, who's damn near a dinosaur, and you have Mikal Starks and Nick Umarororo sitting there, 2 crazy stars that get after the balls insanely crazy well. And you pass them, then you got I still can't get over this. You have the Will Johnson sitting there. And the Vikings were actually interested in picking him. And the knee injury didn't bother them as much as it did other teams. But they just went to the Devon Jackson, which I just do not like. Defensive tackle would have been easier also. A lot of the good defensive tackles left. So I just do not love this pick. I think there's just so much other positions needs. Obviously, he's a good addition to this team, but the players that fell into the Vikings' hand on a golden planter. And by the way, you're talking about trading back. If you want to guard so much, trade back. There's a lot of good other guards in this draft. You could have got Tate in the second round, got more value. He's almost as good as Devon Jackson. Like, I just don't like this pick, dude. And Minnesota did not have a good draft class, by the way. It was freaking awful. But anyway, I just think this is not a good pick. Yeah, it pissed me off. That's all I got to say about that. Matthew?
Okay. I like the player. I like the fit. I like what you're trying to do. You're trying to add the finishing touch to your offensive line. I get it. However, I don't agree with them taking him over the players they took him over. You had Malachi Starks right there, who would have been who Harrison Smith's getting older. He's not getting any younger. There was rumors of him potentially retiring, which he obviously didn't. You could have gotten Malachi Starks on a rookie scale contract plus the 5th-year option. You get the extra flexibility there, okay? You also passed up on Nick Eamon-Wari, who's also a solid safety. And you also passed on Will Johnson.
What pick are you guys talking about?
The Vikings pick.
You get You get a 5th-year option with Donovan Jackson too, though. I don't know why.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, beside your corner room, besides Byron Murphy, like, who else do you have? Like, Gilmore's a free agent and he's old anyway. Like, who else do you have in that cornerback room? Like, Will Johnson would have been a perfect fit. Like, I understand the knee injury, but he's got plenty of time to recover from that. The season doesn't start until September. There's plenty of time. So, like, I'm mixed on it. I like the player. I think he's solid. I think he did well for Ohio State. But if you really wanted him, you should have traded back, because after this pick, they didn't pick again until round 3. Like, they had no second-round pick because of the trade they made last year. So, and then they just – this draft class for Minnesota is very weak, because I did not like what they did in the 3rd round either, where they just traded back and took a receiver, which you really don't need receiver right now. I understand depth's important. I understand depth's important, but you know, the guy they took, I never even heard of him before. I still don't remember his name. So I don't get it. I like the Vikings. I want to see them succeed, and stuff like this just ticks me off. So, it is what it is. But if you really wanted the guard, you should have just traded down a few spots and try to get a 2nd-round pick and get them at better value. But, you know, that's just me.
All right. I know the pick we're about to get to, so I was looking up Jackson Dart's stats. Why the hell did he have 4 defensive snaps in 2021 in college? Anyway,
what?
What I'm looking at. I guess for USC, he had 2 tackles. Maybe it's just an interception. All right. Jackson Dart to the Giants. The New York Giants trade up with the Houston Texans for a 2nd round and a 3rd round. I believe so, yeah, to go ahead and get Jackson Dart. Now, I got a lot to say about this. I'll try to keep it short. When the pick happened in real time, I was utterly shocked, where I soul left my body, because when I heard we were going to trade up, I thought this was just for one moment and
Dude,
one.
I didn't realize how big of a dumbass I was that I didn't realize for 10 damn minutes that the trade happened.
I know. I was so confused. But anyway, I literally thought this was it. We're going to Kishinder Sanders. At the time, my idea of Sanders is still a top quarterback who can develop in the system, can be great. Obviously, has a lot of talent. People had him as a top 10 pick, and he fell here. We've done more work and more time with him than any other team. Here he is. We traded up. This the moment we get Jackson Dart. Which, in my opinion, on Jackson Dart, at the start, I did not like him. I thought he was dramatically overrated. A big due to that is because he's from the college called Ole Miss, which is a dirty-ass organization that should be kicked out of all college football. But outside of that, outside of him being, besides him just being the Ole Miss quarterback, I really didn't look too much into him. Outside of his badass name, Jackson Dart. But we drafted him. I was pretty shocked. But as I've thought about this, and as what we saw Shedeur Sanders falling, and as I heard more reports, and as he stepped in here, now that I looked at more of his games and more of his advanced stats, I am starting to see the idea here. Number one, Jackson Dart. He's white. Number two, sorry. I just knew John Mara had to get he just had to get a white quarterback. All right, it just had to happen. But anyway, you look at him, his connection with Malik Neighbors. Him and Malik Neighbors are friends. Obviously, they Trey Harris, he's with Ole Miss, was with his quarterback. They have some connections there. Also, he has a huge connection with Eli Manning. He went to Eli Manning's camp. He went to Ole Miss. He passed his all-time record in Ole Miss. Eli Manning's even said to me before that he would love to see Jackson Dart in New York. So it just seems a good pick there. He is a player that tested which Brian Daboll said, the reason we truly drafted him is his ability to learn. And he already said right now he is giving the exact same reps and process what he did with Josh Allen and when he went in there to help him. And I look at Jackson Dart, and you look at the games he's had, the big games he's had is phenomenal. You go ahead and look at his last year in 2023, where he has 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And then this year he has 29 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He also is a dual threat running back where he had 8 rushing touchdowns last year. And this year he had 500 rushing yards. He's a quarterback that's really accurate. I remember the LSU game went to double overtime. He was played really well that game. And I think the best thing about, and the real reason we drafted him is he has the ability to develop and learn. And Shedeur Sanders was not that guy. Clearly not. And all 32 teams agreed on that at least 3 times over and over again. And that's just how it went. And what Brian Daboll said is Shedeur Sanders came in, he called out some of his plays, and he disagreed. That he made a bad play. What the fuck? You tell me go into a an interview with an NFL coach, and he's talking about, I'm guessing it's not his footwork and taking sacks. And he's like, oh, no. Bro, I'm sorry. It's just that's diabolical to me. So that's why we didn't do it. But Jackson started coming in, and also the other reports of why we traded up, people say, oh, you give too much value for a second-round quarterback. The Rams traded down right after. And now there's reports that the Rams were interested in Jackson Dart. What do you think happened there? Do you think the Rams happened to trade down right when the Giants trade up and get Jackson Dart? I think the Rams were about to take him. I think that's what they wanted. I think that's what they're going to do. And clearly the Browns would have took him. The Browns would have took him at 33. The Raiders probably would have took him. NFL GMs love this kid, and it's for a reason. And the Giants traded up and got him for only a second and a third. And now a first-round quarterback gets a 50-year option, which is huge if he is a franchise quarterback. And now he's learning under a top 10 quarterback all-time, Super Bowl champion in Russell Wilson on a 1-year deal. And people say, oh, the Giants, they have 4 quarterbacks. Oh, they're retarded. Shut the frick up. Russell Wilson's on a 1-year deal. When his contract expires, Jameis Winston's on a 2-year deal. That means Jackson Dart will be the starter next year, and then he'll be the backup for him. So you have Jackson Dart sitting on the bench, watching Russell Wilson play, while Jameis Winston's sitting there, developing him and talking to him. Russell Wilson developing him, and then when he comes in, he's the backup. I just think it's a perfect plan, and the more I think about it, the more I love it. So I love Jackson Dart as a pick. Also, even this guy is the next Zach Wills and Daniel Jones. At least he has aura. All right. At least he's not no awkward weirdo like Daniel Jones was. All right. At least he is Anakin Skywalker. Paints the face black. You know, he has so much aura. I'm not gonna lie. I if I was gay, I'll stop right there. I like the pick. That's all I gotta say. Jackson Dart throwing darts to Malik Neighbors 2026. All right, I'm done.
I'm gonna be honest. At first, I thought this was the worst decision ever made of all time. Now,
Me too.
I'll give the Giants more respect now because of what we obviously know now. Jackson Dart was the quarterback 2 in this class. Now, I will admit I would have been surprised if Rams would have taken him despite what was said. Listen, I wanted Shedeur to New York so bad because I feel like that's a position he could have succeeded in. So I was bummed out about this pick. But good draft class for the Giants. Good pick. But I don't know about round one, but good player.
The Rams probably would have taken him and the 5th-year option. That's
I think Jackson Dart, and I think Jackson Dart is a project quarterback, and I mean that in a good way because the Giants.
Well, yeah, he definitely needs development.
Giants got 2 of what I think to be like 2 of the best mentors in the NFL with Russell Wilson
and they also got a coach who is a QB guru who developed Josh Allen to be an MVP.
Had a great job developing Danny Dimes.
To a playoff record-breaking Daniel Jones. Is that what you mean?
But as long as Daniel Jones, right, I think he could be a good starting caliber quarterback in this league.
Excuse me,
level, I don't know.
Daniel Jones, I can't believe what you just said. Daniel Jones set a playoff record that's never been broken by anyone ever, and a playoff win with Daniel Jones. He took Daniel Jones, developed him into a comeback player of the year candidate who won a playoff game and had a record-breaking playoff game. I can't remember the exact playoff thing. It was kind of a cherry-pick stat, not going to lie, but it was phenomenal we did with Jalen Jones. Then you can't make a quarterback. Jalen Jones got injured. He lost his confidence, and he was just never the guy. But he will be in Indiana. But, yeah, I don't want to hear that again. By the way, one last thing I'll say. He has a higher big throw percentage than Cam Ward, a better adjusted completion percentage than Cam Ward, and a better average depth of target percentage than Cam Ward. By the way, go look at Alabama. Go look at his Alabama game where he had 4 touchdowns. Versus Alabama.
I was looking in the group chat. You know how you can look up like keywords? Jackson Dart. Bro, me and you were hating on him a year ago. Holy crap.
I did hate him because people kept saying, "Oh, Jackson Dart to the Giants." It pissed me off. And also, don't get me started. He's from Ole Miss, which I just do not like that college. They're dirty. And I'm sorry, Jackson Dart. I don't care if you're on the Giants. You're faking injuries in the LSU game to get timeouts. It pissed me off.
A year ago, I said, "Holy crap! I cannot." I said, "Wait, what?" I said, "Holy crap! Jackson Dart is the worst quarterback I've ever seen." Threw into triple coverage and got picked off. I kid you not, bro. I knew it from a year ago. And
this is what I said.
And
this
I
is what I said March
26th.
I said March 13th. Russ to the Browns, Aaron to the Giants, Jackson Dart, and Mason Rudolph. It is to the Steelers. Oh. Actually, I wasn't saying anything negative about them. I had you gripping the sheets, tell them about what we had last night. That's behind closed doors. Sorry, but anyway.
Whoa, what were you guys doing?
I got a little excited about getting Cam Scadden. Matthew, what do you think about Jackson Dart?
Yeah, so the fact that they traded up and took him over Shedeur says a lot about, the whole Shedeur situation. Like, there's obviously like a lot of issues going on with that. So, I was shocked that they went ahead and did this, but I kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on him. Where like he has some great moments, but then like he makes some like head scratching decisions.
Same with Patrick Mahomes. I'm kind of mixed on him.
Some head scratching decisions.
Okay,
like
Jackson Dart. It was a Clemson game. Jackson Dart was awful. He had like 3 interceptions in like 5 minutes. Yeah. It was not good. I think that was a game, but Shedeur had an awful final game. Cam Ward had a bad game once against, I forgot who it was, I don't remember who it was, but every player, I'm not gonna let that get. People bring that up a lot.
Jackson Dart's worst game appears to be his game against Florida, where he threw 3 interceptions in the final 2 minutes.
Final minutes, yes.
Not 5 minutes, embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, Giants are making
What
it.
about Shadur's last game?
Three interceptions in a minute and a half is bad.
Yeah, Giants are making an investment here, and hopefully it'll pay off. I think he is going into a really good situation. He gets to learn from Russell Wilson, and there's really no need to play him this season. I mean, we might see him play in the preseason, just for fun. But in the regular season, there's no need to play him. There's no need to rush him into anything. Just let Russ play out the season, and he'll probably start in 2026. But yeah, I think he's in a good situation. I think Brian Dable is a good coach. Obviously, he helped Josh Allen develop and push him in the right direction. And he's got Malik Neighbors, who's a very talented wide receiver. So I think he will do just fine.
Hey, our final message. You say this, 100% agree. Dart Giants legend. I say, hey, I think he's good and could go first, but he ain't going to be top 3.
All right, bro.
All
All right, with the next pick, Atlanta trading up to take James Pierce Jr. Now, James Pierce Jr. may be a horrible person and a bad leader, which that scared me for the Bengals to make that pick again because we picked Jermaine Burton, and that did not pan out, so I would have never wanted that to happen again. But obviously, hopefully this pans out for the Falcons. You need that pass rush to be 10 times better than it was last year. And I think adding James Pierce and Jalen Walker to that is just going to be incredible. So I like the pick.
Yeah, I love the pick as well. I think it's a great fit. You're adding to that edge rushing. It's just an edge overload over there. And you also got.
Bro, you're so not funny.
Okay, that wasn't on purpose. I promise. I'm trying to. Okay, you lost Matthew Judon last year, which was somewhat good. Not really, and now your edge rushing is even worse. So I think getting him is phenomenal. You get 2 young superstars. James Pierce is really underrated. He would have even gone higher with them for some attitude issues, but if you're going to Atlanta Falcons, I really don't think attitude problems is a issue. But anyway, I think it's a great pick for them. Trading them for him makes sense. I like it. Okay.
All right, and so wait, I'm trying to remember. Is it okay to say racial slurs in 2025 or no?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
All right, my bad. What the fuck is what I have to say. Great pick by the Ravens. Amazing pick by the Ravens. Was safety your biggest need? No, you have Kyle Hamilton. You have that other guy. I forget his name. One of Jamar's sons. I don't remember. Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton is going to be like Diddy and Baby Oil. The greatest duo of all time.
Oh, good Lord.
That's disgusting. Malachi Starks falling to pick 27 is atrocious.
No,
Vikings,
it's not. It's really.
Vikings should have taken him. This dude has top 15 talent. Yeah, he didn't have the best year last year, and you want 2023 Malachi Starks, but I think that's what you're going to get in the NFL. He's a hard hitter, and he's a ball hawk at the same time. Definitely pains me to see him on the Ravens.
Yeah, you really like those hard hitters and ball hawks.
Bro, what is
Yo, Curry got 36 points.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. You predicted that like literally perfectly, 35 plus.
I know, bro. I've been hitting like all my predictions lately. It's crazy.
Bro, you got to start.
Wilson 6, Cam Scatterboo.
You really got to start.
I might be in the betting again.
Yeah, good pick.
I don't want to become an addict like you. I'm sorry. Okay. I think it's a good pick. I would have gone in a different direction here, I think a tackle, a guard would have been good here. A defensive tackle would have been good. A corner would have been better. Even a receiver throwing him in there, but obviously not there. But I think it's a great. I think you're just adding more to the safety because we saw what Jamar Chase absolutely abuses you. Honestly, I think it's even worse than abuse. It's literally just sad what he does to that secondary. So to get someone in the backfield and tie him up with Kyle Hamilton where he doesn't have to be all across the field, it makes sense. At first, I was confused. I didn't think the pick was great. Malachi Stark, like you said, he is a ball hog. He gets after the ball, and that's what you need, especially when you're in a division with star quarterbacks never mind. But I think it's just what you need to do. So I like this pick here. Yeah. Matthew?
All right, so Starks is one of my favorite prospects in this draft. I had him going to Minnesota, but he falls here to the Ravens. Probably wasn't the biggest need for them. I know secondary wasn't great this past year, but I do like them pairing him with Kyle Hamilton. I think that's a fun duo. You could have gone O-line or you could have gone edge rusher or even defensive tackle since Michael Pierce retired. But I think it's a nice pick. And they end up with Mike Green later on, which for reasons I'm not going to say on here. But, good for you, Ravens.
All right. So the Lions go to get Kelly Williams. I understand why you want a defensive tackle, but why you don't get a guard, a tackle, or even John Campbell, I do not get it. I do not like it. Who was the other defensive tackle that was still on the board? Was there another one that was still on the board?
I don't remember.
There's someone else that I thought was better, but I think it's a solid pick. And Lions, it's not really hard for me. It's hard for me to judge a team when they've been so good at drafting lately, in the late rounds and stealing players. But to me, I still think there's better directions to go. But I understand the pick. Also, an edge rusher would have been good. You go ahead and get someone like Mike Green or even Nick Skirton. That would add a lot more because you really need help on the edge. But I think it's a solid pick overall. Okay. Commanders, go ahead and get Josh Conley Jr. Pass on Will Johnson is going to be a generational mistake like they always make. I like the pick to a degree. I think you already got a tackle, but a right tackle would be nice. And also, you always want to keep working on the offensive line. The Commanders have always had a bad offensive line. They'll be having the RG3 after the guy's young career started. You don't want something to happen like the Jaden Daniels. So I understand the pick. And Josh Conley Jr. is a really good tackle. I would not have taken over Josh Simmons. I don't care about a small injury he had, but it is what it is. I think it's a decent pick, but you could have gone in other directions. Also, the safety Nick Umurari would have been phenomenal. Your safety, and corner depth is just putrid. Now you did get a corner second round, which is a good corner. We'll talk about in a bit, Trey Amos, but man, with the amount of talented receivers in the NFC East, I just think you need to start working on that secondary because that's literally what happened to you in that game. It wasn't even more Saquon. Jalen Hurts was dotting you up. So, yeah, I think it's a decent pick. Matthew?
This pick surprised me. You could have paired Will Johnson with Marshawn Lattimore. That would have been nice. Or you could have gotten a safety and Nick Emonwari because I'm pretty sure they lost Jeremy Chin to the Raiders. So that position is pretty weak. But Josh Connerly is, a solid player. Since they already have Tunzel at left tackle, he's most likely going to transition to the right tackle. We'll see how he does at it, but one of the better offensive lineman prospects in the class. So I think he'll be solid. But if I was the GM, that wouldn't have been my choice. I would have went Will Johnson or Iman Wari.
All right, and then potentially one of the worst picks of the night. The Bills get Maxwell Harrison. I understand this guy. It's athletic corner, had a great combine, a lot of upside. But holy frick! First off, I would not have gone corner as my first option. You definitely need one. I won't deny that. You look at players like a receiver like Luther Burden, you could have got right here. You look at Jahan Campbell. Look at Mike Green or Nick Skirton. You take a corner. You even take Will Johnson. You take Maxwell Harrison. I just do not like this pick. I think he's going to be good there. I think he's a good kid. I just think, oh, man. You don't get, like, whenever a team takes not the highest position need and doesn't take the best of that position need, or when someone does not drafts that's not the high position need, and you only get the best player of that position they're drafting, that always just frustrates me. So I do not like the pick. I like the player. I think he'll be good there. I mean, he can be an addition to the Bills secondary, but man, I am not a fan of this pick. Matthew?
I cannot believe I got this pick right.
Bro, we got it. You said it 50 times, bro. We got it, bro.
Now, because like I saw other people doing it, so I didn't think it'd be an issue. Anyway, now he did have a down year due to a shoulder injury, but he was really fast at the the combine. I think it was like a 4.45 or something like that.
Yeah, he was insane.
So I understand what Buffalo's trying to go for. They're trying to get a fast corner that can keep up with receivers like Worthy. I get that and all, but I just don't agree with them taking him over the players they could have gotten. Like, you could have gotten Donovan Ezaraku, who's a really good edge rusher. Edge rusher is a need. You need edge rushers in that defense that can, because like part of the reason Mahomes always beats you in the playoffs.
Matthew, do you think this was a massive pick?
What?
Oh Lord.
Matthew, do you think this was a massive pick? Just like, do you think so?
No. What?
Can you just say massive for me? Just say massive.
I don't know, because I don't trust what you're about to do right now.
I'm done. I'm sorry. All right.
Oh my God.
My fault.
Where do you get this stuff from?
The Philadelphia Eagles trade up one pick with the Chiefs to get Jahad Campbell. Now, I think this is an absolute steal of a prospect. I do think they could have gone in a different direction. I think defensive tackle is a bigger need. I think safety is a bigger need. Obviously, Nico Rumor would have been here. It would have been crazy. Offensive guard, you lost that. Edge rusher. But at the same time, when you get a player like him who is generational and really physical, well, maybe not generational, but legendary. But I just think it's a good position need. And, what am I saying? He's a good addition to the team. I think he's a physical middle linebacker. He's a dual threat middle linebacker. And I think one that fits in Philly with Zach Bond very, very well. I just think it's better to work in the trenches to keep your up front, like Jalen Hurts and Saquon, safe, getting a guard, which you did kind of get a guard, I think. I don't remember. I'll have to look. But I just think, in my opinion, I think you stick there. You don't need to trade up. You maybe trade down a bit and get a guy. I don't know. But, I think Howie, he always finds a way, kind of dark magic he's doing. Once again, if I had assassinated GM, all right, whatever. Good pick.
Yeah, top 15 talent at 31. Take that any of the day of the week.
Sure. Happened with the fat ass, what's his name? Jalen Carter. Happened with Cooper DeJean, with the other guy, Mitchell.
I don't know how the Eagles keep getting lucky in every draft.
Yeah, I don't know what
they always get a good player to fall right in their lap. Like, it's getting kind of ridiculous.
Saquon Barkley.
Also getting Jalen Hurts in the second round, and then he becomes a Super Bowl MVP. That's fun. That's also
Yeah, and just having a damn near perfect offensive line too.
Yeah, let's just get a general off the line. Oh, Jason Kelsey retires. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're just
this is
on a
an
center.
amazing pick by the Chiefs as well. Josh Simmons.
And then another team that got really lucky as well.
Oh, who just random ass bum middle linebacker? Zach Bond. Yeah, let's turn him to an all-pro. First team all-pro. Defense player of the year candidate. Why not? Why not?
A finalist.
Yeah. Like, get the frick out of here, bro.
Yeah, let's get him back. And we lost Melton Williams and Josh Sweat. No biggie. We'll just get some replacements.
Damn. All right, Saints, Chiefs. So I get mixed up the quarterbacks.
Great pick, Josh Simmons.
Phenomenal pick. You need
another
a
team
tackle
that gets lucky.
If the freaking I've seen some scary things in my life, trust me. I've seen nothing scarier than the offensive line on Super Bowl Sunday against the Chiefs. It was horrific what I saw.
Shut up, bro. Joe Burrow got sacked more times than that.
They had Joe Thuney over at left tackle.
I'm talking about the Super Bowl. Something
I know Burrow got sacked more times in the Super Bowl, by the way.
Mahomes. I like Mahomes. Pick. Great pick. Yo, okay. Is your pink colors like contagious? I'm starting to feel like a lightheaded. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, but
this is my mind.
Chiefs get extremely lucky here. The only reason he fell this low is because of his injury. It was actually a really serious injury. He tore a peculiar tendon in his knee. It was really bad. He tore some sort of tendon in his knee. It was not good.
Yo, Matthew, real quickly. What's your favorite song?
My favorite song.
He doesn't listen to music, apparently.
You've always been ahead of the game. Excellence is your default.
Bro, I'm not even
and
playing
Lexus
this.
knows that feeling is unmatched. Their standard
hell
isn't for
no.
the average. It's for those.
Dude,
Damn,
I thought
Matthew
was playing that.
What? All right. Okay. Okay.
Matthew, this is my favorite song.
I watch LeBron on my TV. He's just the greatest that we've ever seen. With Luka Don, even AD, they just can't compare to my glorious king. I watch LeBron as he sings a three. He's getting old, but he's
Bro.
I was.
I watched LeBron lose to Anthony Edwards.
I thought you were about to say I like
he
this
has
song.
38 points. Relax.
But Matthew, do you still agree? Lakers in 5.
Wolves
It
in
don't matter.
6.
Divorce court, child support, Lou Dort. Lakers in 5. The Thunder, a Boost Mobile bundle, WWE Royal Rumble. Lakers in 5. OKC.
I'm done.
It don't matter. Wolves in 6.
No, I'm not.
A bear! We do not care. I think there's someone hanging right there.
Lakers in 5.
baby Brian. Let me see you do your dance. Let me see you.
That's my favorite edit of all time, by the way. All right, sorry.
Motherfucker. Yes, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. Matthew agrees with me.
No, I don't. It's
Cardinals.
Michael Jordan and Anthony Edwards.
Wait, shut the. Okay, Matthew. Ever since the last 2 weeks, you started sucking Noah. You just left me 4-0.
Yeah, because I fucking hate the Lakers with a passion.
No. It's not even that, bro. You be sending all these posts that I just hate on the Warriors.
Damn, bro.
And all these posts
you
that
still mad at Magic
love the
Johnson, bro?
Timberwolves.
What?
You still mad at Magic Johnson, bro? It's been 40 years.
Okay, I'm not. I didn't even grow up in that era, but
Wait, no. Is this where it shows the teams and the plays?
Yeah. So we're just gonna say graded, I guess. All
Grade
right.
them.
So
All right. Cardinals.
starting with the Falcons.
This is the Cardinals, Noah.
wait,
Walter
is
Nolan
it-
in the first round.
This is the
Okay,
Cardinals.
Walter Nolan in the first round. Will Johnson in the
Dumbass
second
does
round.
not realize this
You
is
get
the damn
Jordan
Cardinals.
Bunch. I just said it was the Cardinals like 4 times.
You said it's the Falcons, dumbass.
Oh, here we go.
And then I said Cardinals. Whatever. You get
All right,
Jordan
I
Bunch,
give it an
edge rusher
A.
out of Oregon. Not my favorite pick, but you get Cody Simpson. You get Denzel Burke, who was a high pick for a long time, but he just fell off the bridge. And then you get a couple other position needs. I think this is a phenomenal draft. I'm gonna give this an A+.
I'm giving it an A. I could go A+.
Just for
I'm
these-
going to give it an A.
Just for these 2 picks right here.
Phenomenal
Matthew?
picks.
I mean, you get Walter Nolan in the first round, and you get
To be
The
fair,
best-
if
you
I was
get
the
the
Cardinals
best-
there, I would have.
you get the best cornerback, not named Travis Hunter, in the second round. That's a steal. That gets an A+. I don't care what anyone says.
Good.
Yeah. All right, the Falcons.
A.
Okay. So
Plus.
we already talked about Jalen Walker, James Pearson, first round. Then you want to get Xavier Watts, safety.
Oh
of Notre
my
Dame.
gosh, dude.
Fantastic
Xavier Watts
safety.
is so underrated, bro. He's so good.
Is he?
You want to get Billy Bowman Jr. You
A
get Jack.
I got
Nelson.
2 safeties.
I'm going to give this an A.
Why the hell do you need 2
Just because
safeties?
you
You
do
got
not-
Jesse Bates. Hell no. I know it's probably for special teams, but
Just because you do not get a defensive tackle. But outside of that, it's still an A.
I'm giving it an A.
A.
Yeah, you
Much
did
better
lose
than
Aaron
last
Rodgers.
year.
Your
On to
defensive
the-
tackle is a huge need, but is what it is.
The Baltimore Ravens, first round. You get
F.
Malachi Starks, already talked about.
I'm just
You get
kidding. It's
Mike
an A+.
Green. Now, clearly, hold on. I want to say this. There's obviously allegations. If they are true, it's not a good look for them. But if these are false, this is a steal, all right? It's a steal. This guy's a fantastic player. Phenomenal. And you need edge. So I can only say there.
And
You
I
get Emory
don't
Jones,
believe Mike Green
tackle.
can face any prison time too from this. So either way, he's not going to face prison time. I don't believe for
Yeah.
his certain allegations that I
I think
literally
Emory
did not know
Jones
about.
Jr. at the LSU, a tackle who was supposed to be a first-round pick about a year ago. I mean, about like before the season started, but he just had injuries, was inconsistent. But I still think is a great tackle to learn, and they need more of the line. So I like that pick. You get Teddy Bunchen, and then you go out to get Carson Vincent, a couple other guys. You get a lot of guys. Tyler Loop. Look out, Butker.
Loopy loop.
You mean Tucker?
I mean, you can holy frick, got a lot of picks. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a
Bro,
solid.
and you got my boy Wester. Love that pick. And actually,
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
think
give
he's
this
a great fit for the
solid.
Ravens.
I'm gonna give this an A- just because of Mike Green. Now, like I said, I'm thinking it's as a prospect. I can't really say with the allegations. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, and well,
You get Emory
apparently, what I found out last night is that there's the obvious allegations they're talking about, and then there's lack of commitment to football is what people are saying. But I mean, who knows if it's true or not?
All right, what do you
I
got to
don't
give
care.
this
I'm
draft?
giving it an A.
A.
All right. The Bills. Now, we already talked about their atrocity of a first pick, but outside of that, they had some really good picks. You're going to get DJ Sanders, a defensive tackle in South Carolina. Love that pick for them. You get Landon Jackson, who fell to the third down. A physical freak. Yeah, he looks like a
Make-A-Wish
Caillou on
kid.
cocaine.
He looks
but
like Josh Down.
damn. Joshua Dobbs.
Oh wait, Josh.
Dobbs.
Yeah. Sorry, my fault.
But I love this pick for me. He's a phenomenal edge rusher. You need edge rusher. You also get Deion Walker, defensive tackle. Oh, man.
You gave up a lot
Then
of
you get a
future
guy
picks
called-
trading up for these
And
guys,
then my
which I didn't
favorite
like.
pick of the
but
draft, you get Hancock. Oh, my God.
love it.
And then you get a solid tight end, going strong. I like this. I'm going to give it an A-. I like it. You fill a lot of position needs. Even with Maxwell Harrison,
I'm
you
gonna
kind of
give it a
reach.
B plus. I just really dislike that Maxwell Harrison pick, even though I love
Yeah.
I still like him as a player. I just
He's a good corner.
feel like it's too early.
All right, Matthew. What do you get the Bills?
I give it A minus.
That's the other thing Matthew was doing. That
All right, on to the
pissed me
Carolina
off.
Panthers.
He was copying every one of your picks. Now he's copying your grades, but whatever. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, by the way.
By the way, he got 11. I got 9. Evan got 4 right in the first round. Daniel Jeremiah got more right.
Yeah, you had the most biased mock draft.
Wait. How many did Daniel Jeremiah get?
God. I don't know. I just know he got more right. I didn't even check. I just know he got more right.
Wait. I gotta check right now.
All right, no, I'll check. I'll check real quick. I sent it to you. Hold on.
Oh, are you really
I know,
this
I know.
insecure about this?
I'll check.
All right, he got 1, 2, 3. Oh God, he had a bad draft. 4.
Bro, he got the dart trade
He's
right.
tied
What
a
the
few.
hell?
You got 5, 6, 7.
All right, what the hell? Fuck that. Whatever.
7 right. That's 3 more than you. Hey guys, I got more than Daniel Jeremiah. I know more ball than Daniel Jeremiah. I'm just saying. So all the mock draft guys.
A
that play
newborn
these-
infant
that's my
has
mock draft.
more knowledge than Jeremiah, whatever his goddamn name is.
Yeah, Evan hates him with a passion.
All right, but the Panthers, you get the first pick. You go and get Tim McMillan, and I say, oh, but you need edge rusher. You pass on Jalen Walker. Don't worry about it. You got Nick Skirton in the second round. Wow,
Great
what a
pick.
steal there. Then you go to get Piercy Umuronmi. I can't say this guy's last name, but he's a phenomenal edge rusher. You get 2 back-to-back great edge rushers. Then you get Trevor Etienne, probably the better running back, honestly. The brother running back. Another great piece. And then you go in and get another solid piece. It's Cam Jackson. I like that defensive tackle there. You get Jimmy Horn, nice receiver out of Colorado.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Hold on. I'm sorry. I have to glaze him for a minute. This dude is so criminally underrated. Oh my gosh. I remember that first Colorado game of the season this year. Had 200 yards. Oh my gosh. Not actually. Like
I'm giving this an A+. I'm giving this an A+. Really
I'm giving it an
phenomenal draft.
A+ as well. I love the Jimmy Horn pick. He'll be a great slot receiver for you if no matter how much you want to play him. But good pick. Oh, I was just very happy.
Evan, Matthew.
A+.
All right. Now on to the Bears. So
The
Bears.
Bears.
I was
Don't
just
love it.
about to do that, Matthew. What's that?
He read your mind, or he read something else. But I love the pick here, Luke Burden. He is a steal. I think he is. I don't care anyone says, he is the best wide receiver in this draft.
I don't hate that at all, actually.
I love him. I think he's phenomenal. He has some diva issues. What receiver is not a diva these days? So I don't really care. And I think he'll be a great fit there. I love that pick there. You're going to get Ali Trapple. I think a bit of a reach there, but he's a solid tackle. He's like my 10th ranked tackle. I don't know why you give him the second round, but it's whatever. Then you get Shamar Turner, a defense tackle that I think is also steal. And then a couple other players I'm not too familiar with. I'm going to give this a B+ just because of the big reach here. But outside of that, I'll give it just a B just because that is a big reach. But I'm going to give it a B. You still didn't get a lot of offensive linemen outside of that one guy. I think you really should keep working there because although you did work in the free agency, there's always more to do. But yeah, I'm going to give this a B. B for the Bears.
I'm going to give it I love the Luther Burden pick, so I'm going to give it a B-. I just hate the Loveland pick. And I think Loveland's going to be an amazing player, don't get me wrong. Again, there's just so many other options they could have went with.
Yeah. Math?
I'm going with B-. I like them getting Luther Burden. I do not like them taking Loveland over Tyler Warren. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, that's bad. All right. The Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, boy. So right up with the first pick. It was a great steal in Shamar Stewart. You don't want to get Demarius Knight Jr. I like this linebacker out of South
Demetrius.
Carolina. He is a nice physical linebacker. I just do not think middle linebacker was the pick to go. You could have got Tate. You could have got a defensive tackle. You could have got a safety.
I
just do not think
understand that. I
middle
understand that
linebacker
for
was
sure.
the pick to go. Then you go to get Dylan Fairchild, and
The teammate.
Oh my
I-
gosh! Can you click on his name for a second? Oh my gosh!
he's from Cummings. I'm not clicking on it though. He's from Cummings.
What a great! I didn't know who he was, and no, with the Bengals, they attacked their biggest needs. And linebacker, you could say it wasn't a huge concern, but Jermaine Pratt was one of the worst linebackers I've ever seen in my entire life last year. Holy crap, that dude's ass. Logan Wilson was hurt, so I think you need to trade Jermaine Pratt if you can trade Jermaine Pratt, or just cut him at this point. He's so bad. He's so bad. And I want Logan Wilson and Demetrius Knight. That's a good duo. And then Dylan Fairchild. Like, I don't think there's been a bigger gap on planet Earth since the since the San Francisco earthquake. Then the Bengals have a guard. He's an instant starter for me. The Bengals guards suck. And can you scroll down a little bit? That Rivers guard that we got, I also think he's going to start as a 5th round.
Yeah,
pick.
but real quick on Fairchild, I think I look more into him. He is more of a project guard, but he is pretty good at pass protection. It's more of his run blocking is not the best, but at pass protection, it's a lot better. I just think it was a bit of a reach for a guard at the time. And then, yeah, you do get another middle linebacker, which is also strange. And then you get Jalen Rivers out of Miami. Then you go to get Tajah Brooks in the 6th. So you don't get a safety or a corner.
Yeah.
So to me, I just think you just
I
didn't
would've
draft.
got-
You didn't draft the top position needs, and you didn't get the best at the ones you didn't take for the most part. That's why I'm going to give this a D+. And I'm going to give it the plus because of the Shamar Stewart. It was a steal.
Are you serious right now? A D+?
What? Yeah, you didn't get a safety or a corner, and you got a bunch of guys that were a big reach.
A D?
You didn't get your top 2 position needs. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. Edge and guard was by far our biggest needs, and we got both of them. A D? Are you saying D or
Safety
B?
and corner. Do you not watch?
Safety and
literally
corner
all
were
your
not our
needs?
2 biggest needs.
Okay, but yeah, but get 2 middle linebackers, one that no one ever heard of. Sure.
The linebacker pick was strange
Let's
to me. That's the only pick
pass
I
on,
don't.
let's pass on Membu. Let's pass on Membu and multiple other guards for Fairchild, and then let's
Okay,
get a tackle no one's
Fairchild
ever
was the
heard
best
of,
one there.
a running back. Yeah, let's take another running back over a safety and corner.
I love the Brooks pick because back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. I like that pick. We need a backup running back.
Evan, can you just tell me? I'm just confused. Like, what do you see in this draft class? I do not see it.
Besides Carter, I think we should have gone safety there. But besides Carter, I love what we did. We filled in two guard spots, which both I believe can start immediately. Shamar Stewart starts immediately, and then Demarius Knight Jr. I believe starts immediately as well.
The problem is, you could have got starters immediately, but either way, you could have got better starters and better different needs. And that's the big issue. And I'm looking at you drafting 2 middle linebackers.
I'm giving the
one was
Bengals
a reach,
D+.
and then the other one.
B+ is.
I like Demarius Knight Jr. No, it is not. You're right. I just like. Let me just go through this again. You get Shamar Stewart. It's a fantastic pick. That's your best pick there. Then you go to get Demarius Knight. He's a solid middle linebacker, but he is not a top 2nd round worthy, and he's also not a high position need like a guard. Like, you passed on so many guys. Like, I would have looked at the list amount of guys you passed right there. It's insane. And then the 1st pick, you get Dylan Fairchild, who is a decent guard, but maybe a 4th or 5th, not a 3rd. It's a big reach. And then you go ahead and then here and get another middle linebacker that I never even heard of. And then you go in the 5th round, you get Jalen Rivers. Sure, that's a good tackle. But like I said, where's the corners? Where's the safety? Did you even get a defensive tackle? Oh my, you didn't get a defensive tackle either.
We didn't need
Jesus.
to draft a defensive tackle.
You got that guy from the Packers who's one of the worst rated defensive tackles this year. What are you talking about? You have
Nose
terrible defense
tackle.
tackle. But you couldn't stop the run at all. You need to stop the run. Is it not what you need?
Yeah, and we got a good run stopper.
Dude, he was one of the worst graded defensive tackles. You're talking about last year when he was in the Packers, where you had like barely any snaps. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
The highest
I'm sorry.
grade stuff on defense. Yeah, he had like
you could have
100.
given it any grade.
He had like
A D plus is atrocious.
No, it is not. You're like, I don't give it an F. This is bad. Like, bro, do I need to say it again? You did not get a defensive tackle. You did not get a safety.
I love our draft.
You did not get a corner.
B plus.
I get it. I understand. You want to root for your team. I'm not going to hate against you, but you can't hate me for my pick. My take
Matthew,
here. You did not get a
grade?
defense tackle. You passed on multiple defense tackles, multiple safeties, multiple corners, and you got a guard who was a reach. You got a tackle that I think is a solid pick for the value.
He's a guard. He'll play guard. He played guard in college.
And then you got a running back that God knows who it is and why you need him. So, dude, what do you want me to say here? Like,
back-to-back 1,000 yard seasons from that running back, by the way.
And he's a 6th round pick that'll be a backup. So nice. Matthew, what do you give it? And by the way, just one last cherry on top. Your GM sucks at drafting, so it's just another cherry on top.
And yet
I trust his evaluation.
So whatever.
Excuse me, we won the last 2 drafts.
Excuse me, and you're still the worst team. So
maybe because we did not get Joe Burrow handed to us on a golden planter. Sorry.
Still drafted better. Matthew,
name a team that had a better draft than this last year. Name a team. One.
Then this year?
Last year.
Last year? I cannot remember last year. Wait, hold on. Matthew,
Malik
you give it the
Neighbors,
grade,
Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah.
Drew Phillips. Theo Johnson.
Yeah, you guys had 2 good drafts these past 2 drafts.
And by the way,
Tyler
we're
Newman,
still the
by
better
the way.
team, so who cares?
Yeah, and Tyler Newman. And by the way, everyone on the line, everyone I've seen have been saying Giants won the draft. Multiple people. Like this draft, we had a phenomenal draft. And I think we did win the draft.
Matthew, what do you give the grade?
Oh my gosh.
Let me guess, a D plus.
No, I don't think it'd be that low. I think a C minus is fair. Look, I like some of these picks, and then I don't like some of these picks. Like I like Barrett Carter. I've heard of him before. I think he'll be a solid player. I've been a fan of him for a while. Dylan Fairchild, all right. Jalen Rivers, all right. But round 6 is where I have an issue. Why did you take another running back? You don't need another running back. You have Chase Brown. You re-sign that Colts line. You re-sign that Colts backup running back. I can't remember his name.
No, we didn't. We didn't re-sign him.
I thought I saw something of that where they re-signed him.
We restructured.
Round 6, you took a running back when you could have gone corner. Kobe Bryant went undrafted, by the way, so you could have gotten him in the 6th round for good value.
Picked up. Yeah, and he also just got picked. He got picked up by the Falcons, by the way, today.
Yeah, so you could have gotten him with this pick instead. But you didn't address your secondary at all in this draft. So you're basically banking on Cam Taylor-Britt to break out and bounce back, and I just don't like the odds of that.
Wait, by the way, real quick, did Will Johnson go before Demarius Knight or no?
Yeah, he went right before them.
He went 3 picks.
I would have crashed out right there. Sorry.
Yeah, but
I was on my knees praying that Will Johnson fell. I was so mad when Will Johnson got picked.
I think a C minus is fair because you made some decent picks, but then you just made some head scratching picks. So you guys could have done better. That's all I'm saying.
2 hours. All right.
So
you're under a lot of pressure because if you miss the playoffs for the 3rd straight year, that is not good.
Matthew, what's your favorite movie? Real quickly.
Why are you asking this question?
Personally, I like any Bigfoot movie.
Oh gosh,
You're more beautiful than I imagined.
No. By the way, I'm looking at it. You took Demarius Knight Jr. over Nick Skirton, Benjamin Morris, Tate, Mike Green, Trey Amos.
See, why didn't you take Morrison? Your defensive coordinator coached him.
Yeah, Al Golden. Well, I
Yeah, so
trust
why
him
not-
with that.
Yeah, so why didn't you take him? That doesn't make sense.
If he didn't want him, then I trust him in that. If your defensive coordinator won't draft you, then I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, he told the GM, and he said yes to him.
You don't think a defensive coordinator has any say in that? That's
Anyway,
the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Do you know what the draft process is?
I know that your GM is
a
an
GM
asshole
isn't
and
in a
doesn't know what the
room
hell
by
he's
himself
doing. That's
making
what
all
I
the
do know.
picks, dumbass. All right.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to listen to the new defense coordinator. I'm sure. When I seen that clip, that guy's a dick. And also, god awful at drafting. His last draft class, yikes. Anyway, but the Browns, I think they potentially won this draft because they got a first-round draft pick on just look at the draft cast, and they get a first-round pick from the Jags, which is probably going to be very high. So, Mason Graham, already talked about that. You go ahead. I do not like these picks. You passed on some great players here, but I do not like that. But you still go to get a middle linebacker in Carson, who I think is really solid. Then you go to get Junkins. I do not like how you took him over Henderson or Caleb Johnson, but he's still from Ohio State. I think it'd be a good fit there. You need a running back. Then you go ahead and get Harold Jr., who's a tight end who has been going up a bit lately. You need another tight end in there. I like that. You look at Dylan Gabriel. I'm not a fan of that pick,
What the fuck?
especially with what they did later in the draft. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Dylan Sampson, another running back. I like this running back a lot. So they're really working on that running back room. Then you go to get Shadur Sanders. Now, getting Shadur Sanders in the 5th round is just a huge top to that. And look, Shadur Sanders, I think it's just now we should talk about the whole thing that happened to Shadur Sanders because it was insane what happened, and no one expected it. And clearly every team was deliberately putting a message out there because for the last year, they've been prodding around talking about how he's going to be a first-round pick. I tweeted today of when what Deion Sanders said, my son's going to be a top 5 pick. What's your son going to do? Ooh, that sucks. That hurts.
Oh,
but
geez.
yeah, it's just from what I've been hearing about the way he's been acting, the way he's been doing stuff, it was just not good. And let's be honest, they brought it upon themselves, and they got a huge reality check. But with that being said, if Shadur Sanders takes this, where he is publicly, in the worst way, humiliated, where he has a whole room with legendary on it, he gets passed on by multiple teams, the Browns 6 times, and then he gets drafted out of pity. He gets drafted as a project. Like, I was looking at the clip where they drafted him, like, you need to work your way in here. Like, one mistake, one media mess up, they'll just let him go. Because that's why he's not being drafted. They don't want this media attention. They do not want Coach Prime, who's going out saying, I dream to coach my son in the NFL. Yeah, a coach is really going to go draft a kid where his dad's saying he wants to coach and take their job. Yeah, okay. Like, I just don't know what they were thinking. But clearly it was just embarrassing. And if he takes this in a way where he humbles himself and reborns himself in a new engine, he has all the talent in the world and all the stuff to grow and be a great franchise quarterback, which he can be. And never mind. I just thought of a stupid thing to say. I'm not going to say that. But I think he could be great in Cleveland. I think he should deserve he's by far the best talented quarterback on that roster. Obviously, I think Flacco's going to be there, and the Browns are going to have Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders fight it out. Like, you know what? We've been so athletic drafting quarterbacks. Let's just throw these 2 dudes in there. Let's just see what the hell happens. You know, it can't get any worse than this. Because then you got Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson, Shadur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel. Holy frick. If you'll make fun of mine for my QB room, bloody hell. But anyway, I think you get Shadur Sanders in the 5th round. Someone who had told you that back then, they would say it's the greatest draft steal of all time. And it could be. It depends how Shadur Sanders handled this. And what did they have to lose here? Because clearly he's a project to this team.
All right.
With Shadur, with him drafting Dylan.
As a Colorado,
With that being said, I'm giving this an A+ because they got a lot of talent and a lot of depth. and they're starting a perfect rebuild with a first-round pick. I'm giving it an A+.
As a Colorado fan, it was traumatizing seeing Shedeur fall this far, and he will be the best fifth-round quarterback taken since Spencer Rattler last year. Trust me. Actually, no, don't trust me. Actually, don't. Actually, definitely don't. But Shedeur has all the talent in the world. You can look up his highlights. You can look up his plays. I don't know why he fell. Is he cocky? Is he arrogant? Absolutely. But the one thing that you can't question is how he handled this fall. He handled it with nothing but class. It's an unfortunate situation for him, a situation he didn't expect. But I could see this even working out for him to make it because he knows that he's on a short leash now, a shorter leash than he could ever imagine to mess up and screw up. So sucks with Shedeur, but I'm going to give the Browns an A+ trade and an A draft. A+ draft. I'll give an A+ draft.
All right, Matthew, what do you give the draft? Browns.
I like what they did a lot. They essentially traded Travis Hunter to the Jaguars for Mason Graham and like a haul of picks. Like you get 2 first-round picks next year that could potentially be in the top 10 because the Jags could be bad. We'll just have to wait and see how Travis Hunter works out there and see if there's any improvement for Trevor Lawrence. I hope so, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, they made a lot of solid picks. Mason Graham, one of my favorite players in this draft. I think he's going to be an absolute dog at the NFL level. Then they got Carson, the linebacker. I think he's solid. Jukins is a solid running back. I don't think they should have taken him over the other Ohio State back, Henderson or Caleb Johnson, but I think he'll be solid enough. Harold Fannin, I think he's a solid tight end. Not really much of a blocker, more of a receiving tight end. But I think he's solid.
Why'd you pause when he said, "I am more for receiving"?
Does it matter?
I'm sorry. No.
Anyway,
What do you pause?
Not a fan of the Dylan Gabriel pick. It's kind of pointless because if you're just going to take Shedeur, then what was the point here? What I assume they're going to do is they're going to play Gabriel in the preseason, and they're going to try to make him look good so that they can up his trade value and get something out of him because you don't need 5 quarterbacks. I don't even think you're allowed to have 5 quarterbacks during the season. I think the most you're allowed to have is 3. But then get another running back, Dylan Sampson, try to improve that running back room. And then Shedeur Sanders. You've got a lot of growing up to do. Let me tell you that. I did not expect him to fall this far. I heard that he could potentially fall out of the first round or round 2, which I'm like, okay, I could see it. Then he falls past round 2. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Then he falls past round 3. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I did not expect him to fall this damn far. Like, round 5? Like, are you kidding me? Like, he goes from a top 10 pick to round 5? Like, I just thought
Shedeur Sanders pick 144. Holy crap!
Yeah, I just thought that was ridiculous, and this is a huge wake up call for him and his father. Like, let me tell you, and I just like it's just like I like him as a player. As a person, I'm not a fan. Okay, like I said, he has some growing up to do. He needs to take this as a learning experience and, own up to his attitude and his mistakes and stuff and turn it around because you can't – because, like apparently with the Giants interview, apparently, like, Brian Daboll called him out on something and he's like, nah, you're wrong. I disagree. You don't say that shit. Like, imagine you go into a job interview, right? and your potential boss looks at your resume and says like, hey, I think you wrote this wrong. Then you go, no, it's not. Nope.
Matthew, we don't need a whole ass movie, all right? I'm sorry.
I don't agree. Nope.
Beat it up. Holy
no, Zone. I don't agree.
I love it.
I disagree, Zone. You're wrong.
Can you grade
like,
the
he's taking you out of his offense. That's what's gonna happen.
It was not good.
So I hope he.
I do give it A+.
Grade the goddamn draft. Holy crap. We have gone through like 4 teams.
Okay, sorry. A+. There you go. You happy?
We're at a big old 3 hours almost. And
okay, calm down, Deborah.
I can remember. What the hell does that mean, Matthew?
Okay, the Dallas Cowboys. So you're talking about Tyler Booker. You're going to get Dominic Urruca from Boston College.
I'm
too tired,
bro. I'm just going to give it a B.
They really They really need an edge rusher. Love this pick. Then you're going to get Shavon Ravel in the 3rd round. Oh my gosh. Back-to-back steals. First off, you need a corner desperately. You're going to get Shavon Ravel in the 3rd. This guy's going to be this guy with what is it? What's his name? Diggs. He's going to be probably missing a lot of the season. And God knows who else you have in that secondary. Sean Vanderbilt will be a fantastic fit there. You get an edge rusher to help with Micah, Tyler Booker to help in the guard position. You get a couple of guys I'm not too familiar with. You get the blue guy, which but the last picks don't matter too much to me. What really matters to me is those top 3 picks. I'm gonna give this A-.
I'm gonna give it a B+.
I'll give it an A. Actually, I'll just give it an A. Matthew.
I give it an A-.
All right. Next team.
Excuse me. Could you help me find like birthday candles? It's my girlfriend's birthday today. I need a 4 and a 1.
Your girlfriend's turning 41?
Ew, no.
Sorry, I didn't know what clip that was.
Yo. Okay. This is the worst pick of the draft. I'm sorry. What the fuck is this?
Okay.
DJ Harvey?
Seriously? Sean Payton?
That's your running back.
Over Caleb Johnson. Are you kidding me?
And then you go get Pat Bryant, another pick I do not like. Pat Bryant, do not like that pick. Way too much of a reach. You do it to get Shabavani Jones from LSU. Just saw that edge rusher. Still would have picked some other guys over him. You get Q Robinson, Jeremy. You get a punter. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a. I'm gonna give this a D-. I'm giving this Broncos a D-. This is not good.
I'm giving it a C+.
I'm gonna give it a D.
All right, then we got the Lions. The Lions always do have good draft classes, so you never really know. But you get Talakai Williams, even a stacker, top of that. You go get Tate in the 2nd round. I don't think it'd be a 2nd round pick, but you do need a guard. I do like the pick there. I don't know who the frick this is, but you got a receiver in the 3rd round. And then you get Miles Fereza, another great guard from LSU, legend. So you get 2 guards. That's good. You get a couple edge rushers. I think it's a solid draft. Nothing too much, nothing too little. We'll go ahead and give this a B-.
I'm gonna give it a B because of Daddy Ratledge.
I'll give it a B+.
Math?
B+.
All right. On to the Green Bay Packers. All right, I'm Matthew Golden. You go get Anthony Benton in the 2nd round. I do not think you need to tackle that badly, and that was a reach, but I can live with that. You get Shavon Williams from TCU, another receiver. I did not think you need another receiver since you already do have a pretty solid receiving core as far as other receivers, but okay, he's a decent receiver. You get a couple edge rushers, nothing too flashy here. The Robinson, I do like that corner. Yeah, I'm not feeling this one too much. I'm going to give this a C.
Bro, who are we on? Packers? Love the golden pick. I'm going to give it a C+.
Grossi Posse. announced this pick right here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wait,
Bro, do you still glaze that guy like crazy?
Yeah, thanks for getting my autograph, asshole.
Bro, he was in Minnesota too.
Oh, Matthew, what do you give it?
C+.
Bro, Minneapolis is like 2 hours away from me. And you know, bad bro. Every time I go to Minneapolis, I almost die there. It's the worst freaking traffic ever. All right, Texas.
You almost died there? Damn.
So we already talked about. So their second round, they trade down to get Jaden Higgins over Luther Burden. Cannot fathom that, but I do like Jaden Higgins. He's a fantastic receiver, junior receiver. You go to get the Iristar guy from Minnesota tackle. You needed lineman. You got him at the right value. I do like that pick there. You also get Jalen Noyle, who was another great receiver. I like that pick there. You get Jalen Smith, Jaden Reed. That's interesting. You get a backup quarterback. A couple other picks I don't really think too much, but I do like the first 3 picks. I'll give the Texans a C+. What do you guys give it?
Did you hear me? I give it a B. Matthew, what about you?
B+.
Matthew? Well, that's a bit higher than I expected. All right, Colts. Or double Tyler Warren. You're going to get JT Tuimoloau at Ohio State.
I love that. I love
edge rusher.
Love that pick.
Justin Wally, corner of Minnesota. I don't mind that pick there. You get Jared Davis. You get DJ Giddies, a solid running back. Then you get Riley Leonard, who's going to compete for the QB1 job, or he will try. And then you'll get a couple other guys. I'm going to give this a solid B+.
I'm gonna give it a
Matthew?
I'll give it a B.
All right. The Jaguars, oh boy. So, obviously, you got the generational corner and Travis Hunter, but you also lost a first-round pick. And to lose a first-round pick, you Travis Hunter, then you get Caleb Renshaw. Not the biggest fan of this pick here. I do like you trying to go for a corner, but okay. Then you get Wyatt Millen. This is a great pick here. Good guard. You need guard. I like that. But then the rest is a bunch of nobodies. I'm sorry. A bunch of nobodies. And don't get me started. You did not get one defensive tackle, your number 1 need. You did not get one edge rusher. You did not get a tight end, which you need a tight end because you guys freaking chipped off freaking Evan Ingram. I hate this draft. I'm giving it a D-.
I'm gonna just give it a C-.
I'm just giving a C. I'm giving it a C.
Matthew.
They really only got 2 good players.
All right, the Chiefs. You get Josh Simmons. Second round, you get Amari Narmi a lot. I like that defensive tackle. You need defensive tackle too. Help with Chris Jones getting older like that. Go to get an edge rusher. A couple other guys. One of my favorite picks is Jalen Royals. How he fell to the 4th is beyond me, and I think he's going to be a fantastic receiver with Mahomes. And then I like this. I'm going to give it a B+.
I'll give it a B.
Matthew?
I'm going to give it a B.
All right, the Raiders. What we got here? We got Aston Jenny. You got Jack Bench. A bit of a reach here, but this guy is a great slot receiver. He led LSU in reception when he played for LSU over Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. You get Darren Porter. I like this corner. Also, not a third-round talent, but he is a good corner. A couple other go on you get Charles Grant in the 3rd round. Love that pick there. He's a steal tackle. Get a couple other solid players and 2 backup quarterbacks for some reason. But wait, no. I'm sure. Never mind. I like this draft. I'm going to go ahead and give it a B+.
I'm going to give it a B.
Matthew?
B+.
All right. Then we got the Chargers. Amari Hampton. Already talked about that. You get Trey Harris in the 2nd round. Love this pick for them. This guy is going to be a fantastic receiver. And you need a receiver help. You go ahead and get a defensive tackle in the third round from Oregon. Edge rusher. Not too much guy I'm familiar with, but you do fill a lot of position needs. I'll give the Chargers a solid B.
I'll give him a B.
Matthew?
B minus.
All right, we got the Rams. Now, I think I just got to give this A plus because the Rams are so good at drafting, and every player's going to come out freaking all pro in the next 2 years, but I'll try to be realistic. You get Ferguson, tight end. I like that pick there. Then you're going to get Joshua Stewart. I love that pick there from Michigan. A great edge rusher. Still working on the edge. Then you go to get running back from Hunter. I do not like this pick here. I don't know why he was drafted that high, but let me guess, he can become the next freaking greatest running back of all time. Then you go to get Ty Hamlin. I do like that pick there from Ohio State. Chris Paul Jr. is a fantastic steal there. No, it's not Chris Paul's son, but he is a fantastic middle linebacker. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. So I like this draft, and just because it's the Rams, I'm going to give it a little higher. I'll give it a B plus.
I'll give it a B.
B plus.
All right. Now onto the Dolphins. So you go ahead and get Kenneth Grant. He was a tackle. Then you get Jonah Sevilla, a guard. Love that pick, protecting Tua. I meant to say Quinn Ewers. We'll get to that in a bit. You get Jordan Phillips. Didn't they already have a guy called Jordan Phillips? I don't know, but you get another defensive tackle. 2 defensive tackles. Love that. You get Jason Marshall Jr., a corner. A couple other guys. You can get Oldie Gordon in the 6th round. Huge steal there. This guy's going to be a stud. And then you go ahead and get my favorite pick, Quinn Ewers. And I'm telling you right now, this guy is the 4th best quarterback in this draft behind Dart, Sanders, and Ward. Mark my words. And also, this guy will become QB1 by the end of the season. The most doubted quarterback and the most disrespected quarterback. He is going to be the next Tom Brady. I love this draft by the Dolphins. They did everything right. I'm giving this an A minus. Hey, I'm going to give it an A. An A.
I'm going to give
Matthew?
I'll give it an A minus.
I cannot wait to see Quinn Ewers dotting up the Patriots twice a year.
Me too.
Oh, Lord. All right, but this is my least. This is the worst. This is the worst one in the entire. I'm sorry, the Vikings have the worst draft. I'm sorry. So our top is Donald Jackson. You want to get Tyler Blanton from Maryland. You don't need a receiver. What the frick? Then you get freaking Teron Ingram Dawkins. Who the hell? I do like Kobe King. That's a solid pick. Dude, this is a terrible draft. I'm giving this an F. F for the Vikings.
I'll give it a D.
Matthew, what do you give the Vikings?
D minus, and that's being nice.
Yeah, not a good draft. Good free agency, not a good draft. All right, the Patriots. We already talked about Will Campbell. You know, we got Trayvon Henderson. I love this. I know they got the running back. What's his name again?
Henderson?
What's his name again? The running back for the Patriots.
Henderson.
Matthew, what's the running back name for the Patriots?
Oh, Ramondre Stevenson?
Yeah, Stevenson. I know he's a good running back, but he has a serious fumble issue. And Henderson, he's a lot more of a dual threat kind of running back, so I like that. So I like that pickup for them. You know, to get Kyle Williams, I think he's a huge reach, but I like that they're adding to the receiving line. You get Jared Wilson, who's probably the best center inside the draft, which is a great pick there. A couple of guys I'm not too familiar. I love Joshua Farmer. Great defensive tackle. I mean, for his value. Then you know what? Braden Swinson, fantastic LSU, a really overlooked edge rusher. I think he's going to be fantastic on that defensive line. You also get a kicker, which is very good because your kicker crew is awful. Marcus Bryant, a couple other solid guys. And then my favorite guy, Kobe Minor, Mr. Relevant. Sorry, I just love that name, Kobe Minor. Anyway, I'm giving this an A. Shut up, bro. I'm giving the Patriots an A, and it could be an A plus, but I don't know. I do not like that. For this third round pick was better. I'll give it A plus, but I'm gonna give it an A. Matthew, what do you get the Patriots? An F plus?
B minus.
Matthew. A what?
B minus.
What do you give it?
B minus.
Whatever. It's way too low.
I'm not a fan of the Kyle Williams pick. You had Jalen Noel on the board. With
That's the
Jalen Noel
only-
on the board, I don't
get
agree
the only
with it.
bad pick though. The only
I
bad
get
pick
that,
though.
but I get that. But then you draft a long snapper in the 7th round. Like, what do you like? I don't.
It's a 7th round pick.
I know, but you don't waste a pick on a long snapper. That's just ridiculous. But other than that, solid
Whatever
draft.
team wanted them. Whatever. Saints. Oh boy, where did I begin here? So you're a Kellen Banks, which is a good player. I do not like him at that value. Oh my gosh. Tyler Shaw is the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. This guy is the worst quarterback. I have zero. There's not a lot of times I come in here and I publicly say I have zero faith in the player because I can always be wrong and look like a dumbass. I'm here now. I have zero faith. This guy's going to be terrible. Oh, he's from Louisville. I don't know where he's from. He can be from freaking anywhere. He plays like he plays in my backyard. He's freaking horrendously bad. And the fact that took this over Quinn Ewers, Jalen Morrell, Shondur Sanders. Oh, disrespectful to freaking human race and our species. Then you go in and get God knows who that is. I don't know the frick this is either. Jonah Stinker. Then you get Danny Stuntsman, Quincy Riley. I do like Delvin Neal, the best Neal ever. He's a solid running back. Everything else is absolute terrible. I'm giving this also an F.
I'm gonna give it.
Matthew, what do you give the Saints?
I'm giving them an F. Calvin Banks, I think, will be good, but Tyler Shuck over Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe. Like, I never even heard of the guy until 2 days before the draft. Like,
dude, the fact you wasted a 2nd round pick on that dude is diabolical.
Like, I'm like, who the fuck is this?
All right, but the Giants, Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart. 3rd round, you get Darius Alexander, one of the top eight defensive tackles that everyone was talking about, and we need defensive tackle badly because our run game is horrendous. Dex Lawrence finally doesn't get help, not going to be double teamed constantly, and he's already going to be a starter on the team. Then you get Cam Scatterboo. Oh God, what did he say? Whatever I want is what I get. Oh, what did I say 4 months ago? This is the best player, best running back in college, and it still stands today. Better than Astone Jenny. Cam Scatterboo, that's a stud. Why he got overlooked because of a couple injuries and bulk up is insane. He damn near almost beat Texas all by himself. He had a throwing touchdown, a passing touchdown, a catching touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns. He had 2,000+ yards. He is one of the best bully ball running backs I've ever seen. And him matching with Astone Jenny and his receiving ability and his running ability. Oh, don't get me fantasizing and salivating about things. All right, sorry. Then, if my day couldn't get any better, if my hands couldn't get any sweatier, you're going to get Marcus Membo. Oh, this guy, I love this guard. We need a right guard. We have Greg Van Roten as our starting right guard. He's already going to be a starting right guard. We got so much starters, and oh my gosh, I absolutely love this draft. I'm giving an A+. I think we won the draft just because we got so many good picks. You just look at these 5 picks right here. I love it. And then our last 2 picks, Thomas, I generally do not know anything about this guy, so I'm not going to say anything. But we get a tight end. I would like another tight end because Dalen Bellinger, I don't know what he's been. I don't know what is going on with him. Then we get a corner. Always could add more depth to our corner. Not bad. But yeah, I absolutely love this draft. I'm giving it A+.
I'll give it an A-.
Evan. Okay. Yeah, the Panthers had a kill somebody. Yeah, okay. Yep. Matthew?
I'm gonna give it an A+. I think the Giants absolutely cooked in this draft.
Thank you. All right. The Jets, another great draft. First off, you go to get Membu. Already talked about how good that pick was. Then you're going to get Mason Taylor, tight end LSU. Love this pick. You get another tight end who is the 2nd best tight end. Well, 1st best tight end. I'll tell you this. He's closer to Coastal Loveland than Coastal Loveland is closer to Tyler Warren. I think he's a solid tight end. I love what he did in LSU. Then you're going to get Thomas out of Florida, who had a fantastic, amazing combine and was really good in Florida State. So you get another great pick there. Then you go ahead and get Aaron Smith. Not too familiar with him, but yeah, you want to get Menchie Moore. I like this pick here. A safety, and then you go ahead and get a couple other players. I love this draft. I'm going to go ahead and give this also an A+. I just think you filled free position needs at a high value, at right value, and most of them were steals. I'm even A+ just because of those free picks.
I'll give it an A.
Matthew?
A.
Right. A couple other picks left. Teams left. We got the Eagles. John Campbell. I do not like Andrew Nduka over Xavier Watts. He's a solid safety, and you do need a safety, so I understand that. I do like Ty Robinson, though. He's a good defensive tackle, good value for him. Need that. Mikel Williams, not too much about these. I don't really know too much about him. And the other guys I don't really know. You do get a center. You get Kyle McCord. I guess you get a backup. My favorite pick, though, is Cameron Williams at the 6th round, a highly overlooked tackle. And, I think they knew what they were doing there. I think he's going to be a starter eventually for that team. So I like this draft. I'm going to give it a B+. It could honestly be an A+, no matter they are drafting. I'll give that a B+.
I'll give it A.
What do you say?
A-.
So they had just as good as drafted the Giants. I am so pissed off right now. All right, Matthew, what do you give the Eagles?
A.
All right. The Steelers. I love this draft class here. So you start off with Derek Carr. I'm already talking about how good that is. But you want to get Caleb Johnson. So you need another running back because your running back is who is it again? Number 30.
Jaylen Warren.
Yeah, he's not a real running back one. Caleb Johnson will be. Love that pick. Then you want to get Jack Sewer, who was a fantastic edge rusher in Ohio State. One play my ass, Evan. Don't want to hear it. He's a great edge rusher. And yes, that play against Quinn Ewers was insane. Then you go on and get this guy. But then you get Will Howard. And this guy is probably going to be the starter. And he has upside. He won the national championship. He played phenomenal. He has upside. We'll see how that goes. So I love this. I'm going to give this an A+.
B+.
Oh, get the hell out of here. Matthew?
I'm going to give it an A.
All right. The Niners, we got Williams. Get Alfred Collins in the second round. I like that pick. Great defense tackle out of Texas. You need that. Nick Martin, linebacker. Okay. Uptown Stute, CJ West, like that. Jordan Watkins, Jordan James. Yeah, I'm going to give this a B. And let's go B-.
B.
Did not get a corner, though. That's a bit weird. At least I don't think. All right, Seahawks. Love this draft. Their first 4 picks are heavenly draft. Gray Zabel, love that. Nick Arumari in the second round, love that. Elijah Awario, love this tight end. Going to be a stud there. I love that tight end. Then you go ahead and get Jalen Merrill. Now, I understand you got 27-year-old Sam Darnold. People act like Sam Darnold like a 30-year-old veteran and they just signed him. No, this is a 27-year-old you signed on a big contract. Jalen Merrill is perfect for Seattle. This guy is going to develop there perfectly. He has all the attributes to learn. I know he's still young, but let's be honest. Sam Darnold, injuries happen. This guy's going to learn. And what's the worst that can happen? I think this guy has the potential to be the next Jalen Hurts, the good and the bad. I think he'll be fantastic in Seattle. And I love these first 4 picks. After that, you go to get a couple other guys. I also, oh my gosh, Torrey Horton, for the guy, a fantastic receiver out of Colorado.
Oh my gosh, I love Torrey Horton.
Cooking Travis Hunter, by the way.
Love one play, and I hate Colorado State, but I love Torrey Horton. Great
Oh,
receiver.
and they get Damian Martinez. Love this running back out of Miami. So I'm gonna give them. I'm tempted to say I'm gonna say A+, man. Frick it. This is a great draft.
I'll
Holy
go
crap.
A-.
I'm gonna go with A+.
Just because you gave a lot up to trade for Nick Amari. However you say his captain.
Yeah. Well. All right, the Bucks. Already talked about. Maybe you're gonna get Benjamin Morris, best corner in the draft, by the way. Nah, I'm joking. I love that guy. He has so much upside. Was locking down Marvin Harrison back in Ohio State. I'll never forget that. Had a couple injuries. People forget about him. It's disrespectful. He's gonna be a great corner. You get Jacob Parrish, another corner. You get David Walker, Elijah Roberts, Tez Johnson in the 7th round. Has a lot of upside. Great slot receiver. Broncos, you harlot son of a bitches. But anyway, I'm gonna give them an A-. I'm gonna give them an A. Give them an A.
I'll give him an A-.
Matthew.
A.
Alrighty. The Titans. Already know Cam Ward, but you go ahead and get an edge rusher in the second round. Not my ideal edge rusher you could have got, but it is what it is. I do like Kevin Winston in the 3rd round, a great safety from Penn State, pretty highly overbooked. I do not the biggest fan of the Dyke pick, but you do get Gunnar Helm, a tight end. I love that pick there. Great tight end. And you get Alec Lumurari, fantastic receiver. I think he'll be a fantastic star there. And then you also do get the Xavier, which I didn't get drafted. I'm guessing because he was slow, but he has already chemistry of Cam Ward. I think the great receiver. I do not understand why people disrespect him that much, but I like this draft. I'm gonna give it a B+.
I'll give it a B+.
Matthew.
B+.
All right. Last team, the Washington Commanders. Get Josh Kelly Jr. Like I said, yeah, Trey Amos was a steal. You need corner. You need more depth there. Love that. Outside of that, though, it does kind of fall apart. I didn't know who this is. I don't know who that is. Just not a lot of great picks, though. And you didn't have a lot of picks, but your first 2 picks, you got 2 nice stars. So I'm going to give it a solid B.
I'll give it a B+.
B.
All right, Matthew?
B.
All right, well, there it is. So the last thing I think we can say is who won the draft and who lost the draft. For me, my top 5 teams. Let me look at I made a list earlier today. Okay, yeah, my top 5. So number 5, I have the New York Jets. Number 4, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 3, the Seattle Seahawks. Number 2, the Cleveland Browns. And number 1, the New York Giants. And that's not me being biased. Multiple people on talk show hosts. And I saw a comment today on a post about who won the draft. And the top comment was like 9,000 likes at Giants by far. So I think it's the general public opinion. I think it's for a reason. So, yeah, I think we won the draft. But obviously how that actually entails the season, we'll find out. And who lost the draft, my top 5 worst. Evan, you're going to like this. But, yeah, number 5, the worst is the Broncos. 4th worst is the Bengals. 3rd, the Jaguars. 2nd, the Saints. 1, the Vikings. The Vikings had the worst draft. I did not like it at all. And you guys, you can say a top 5 or just your favorite, least favorite, whatever you want. Who won the draft?
Bro, I'm tired, dude. I just want to go to bed. I'm not going to say it. Also, I have not made no.
You're going to say the Giants. It's okay.
List.
We know. What do you mean? What?
All
right, Matthew, who won the draft?
All right. I think it's clear as day who won the draft. It is the New York Giants.
Amen. All right. Well, there it is. So the draft is complete. We talked about the playoffs. Long draft, a long live. I knew this was going to be long because a lot to talk about. But, yeah, so next Sportville, the first round should be done. And, yeah, that should be about that.
Yep. All right.
Great draft. Yep. So thanks for watching this live, guys. Always remember, keep your